brief recap. It's been a month. It has been a fucking chunk of time.
We found the girl.
Yeah, essentially. Quite a few things happened. So we ran into... It was last session that we discovered that bites from these, like, ghouls can cause, like, ghoul
fever.
becoming infections,
God,
right?
I'm so tired
Yeah.
of ghouls.
Ghoul is hot.
And
Ghoul is
ghoul
in.
fever.
Ghoul is in this season.
Both Pathfinder games that we play.
Ghouls.
They're such a good monster. Classic.
So I believe Willow, yeah, Maddie gave that warning, and then Willow set out to be like, maybe we can make, like, some sort of, like, medicine for it? I don't recall the specifics of the conversation. But essentially, yeah, don't get bit.
Don't get
Bad
bit.
things will happen to you. I think Maddie actually said something like, you know, you have to catch it early, or it gets really bad. And then somebody was like, how early is early? And Maddie just kind of grimaced. I don't know.
That does sound about right.
Yeah. We also learned that Hylas's job was also finding the same girl.
Bringing her back to Starwick.
Job was, and he was hired by a dude that both the Delaunay's were like, ugh, why?
Big Billy or Mr. Big Guy.
Barnaby Biggs.
Barnaby Biggs.
Yeah.
A man who is as cartoonish as he sounds, or so I'm told.
Like I said, I'm imagining the conductor from Thomas the Tank Engine.
That is not wrong. It's like the conductor or the Monopoly Man, except like way
Big.
taller and wider.
And I think we should also mention that this was revealed because Hylas remembered the name of somebody that Willow found a letter addressed to, a Professor
Grimm.
Professor Grimm. Somebody who was looking into the weirding, and, you know, wanted to research it, to see, like, is this something that can happen again? If so, like, you know, how do we make it not happen again? ?
Yeah.
And a lot of people widely consider this to be an exercise in futility, but he's going ahead and doing that anyways. Anyway, there's a fun little series of dots to connect there. The Delawneys recognize that name. Hylas recognized that name because Professor Grimm and Mr. Biggs are contacts.
Perfect. I will give each of you an additional hero point to start.
Whoa!
Thank you for recapping. That was very good. Golf clap for good notes and good memory.
There's some notes about the girl that we could also give. I do also want to point out Maddie pancaked the guy with her mallet. And we had a loving, doting Aang scene that lives in my heart.
Yes.
wiping the blood off her
like
face.
gore splatter off of, and getting like next to none of it. Not nearly enough, but
Not
soiling Panky in the process.
a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Oh, I should also throw this on there, just as a fun reminder. Hylas has told you that he's just not going back to Starwick and is just not going to complete that job.
He abandoned ship real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
And apparently it's Paige's fault.
Well, it's Paige's fault that he's sticking with the party,
Yeah.
but he's not gonna fight you guys.
He's not stupid. Cue the image you drew of surrounding Hylas. So I'm not stupid.
In that moment, I was looking at the board. I was like, literally, their tokens are on every fucking side of him. This is like, I don't know if they were intending this to be as threatening as it is.
Oh, 100% we were.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was intentional.
There was something else interesting that happened last time.
Yeah.
Something else.
Continued on.
Was it last session that we found the fungus? The mushrooms, or was that the session before?
That was a session before.
That was the session
before.
Yeah, that was the session before.
Yeah, found a lot of notes on stuff. The scientists were into some fuck shit.
Hey, something happened to Willow last time.
There we
Y'all.
go.
You guys remember that? You remember how...
Willow went nuclear. Or
Willow
she
engaged
was
in a
acting,
new mode?
Willow was acting a little odd. Haha. Ha. Don't hurt me. So that happened. Which I feel like Z should sum that part up about what exactly happened.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No.
A nice drop below half, and some shit happened.
Can you provide a little more detail?
Nope.
Is this what we sound like to Z most of the time?
Yes.
Yes. This is absolutely the caliber of, like, summary that we had for runes last night.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, to sum the summary up a little more, we found some more clues about the scientists, discovered some more things hidden away that were also taken and destroyed, so cluing of it was one of them that destroyed it all. Going downstairs towards the girl, we found a bunch of dead corpses and bodies, and the touch chair, was everyone was fucking poisoned and got poisoned and deaded to death. And we find the girl who is so oofumed.
She is so tired and so scared.
So tired, so scared, probably starving and dehydrated.
I've
And
been
all of
there,
the above.
lady.
Right? We have made friend with child. Calm down. Group effort of like, we're not gonna hurt you, we swear.
And
We
she
promise.
just fucking passed out.
Pass the fuck out. Also, I have it here in the notes that Anne gets an extra hero point. I don't remember why.
Really? Okay.
Wait.
There you go.
Dang good?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it had something to do with helping calm the girl down.
Maybe.
Mhm.
I think
No,
it was
wait.
something.
It was because Kira chose that Aang believed Paige when Paige said that nothing was up. Rather than like
sees this
look
is
into
not the
things.
girl. Wait, I got it right here. And here sees that this is not the girl from her vision. She gets an extra hero point for next time. So it was in that moment there.
Gotcha.
I remembered the detail, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, I did not remember why I
Yeah.
got the hero point.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you all are okay with it, we'll pick up right on the heels of where we left off, where the young woman you have found, who goes by the name Abigail, though I don't think she introduced herself, has passed out, and she slumps over on the desk. She is clearly just road weary to the point of total exhaustion. And it is worth pointing out, like, she doesn't have shoes. She has been running like through mud and cold snow, and is just fallen over basically
What size is this broad?
after running through here. She's very slim, very slight. She looks.
Yeah,
she
how
looks like a
knowledgeable are you in
breeze could
women's
knock her
shoe
over.
Mhm.
sizes?
I mean, I
Um,
don't know. Is this like average shoe size? Is this like small
Average
shoe
shoe?
size?
she
Small? Big?
she has very slim feet, but they are average length.
I feel like
and
with all the
give her
body
her
shapes
boots,
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
because
You
Egg doesn't
can
really need them.
you can see that your boots will be a little bit big on her, but it won't be so big that they're a problem. Just a little clunky.
Nice.
Mhm.
Guessing we're gonna be doing a long rest in here.
Yeah.
Well, Willow, since you're still kind of in the back here, and Hylas, you are in the back, can both of you make me a perception check?
You got it. Oh, right. We have to, like, open our character sheets, huh?
Oh, hell, I gotta click the button. 20, modified 20.
I promise we're underway.
Uh-huh.
Actually, is perception over on the left, or is it under
It's on the left.
proficiencies?
On the left.
To the left, to
You
the
should be
left.
able to just open your character sheet and always
Everything
see
you
it.
own in a box to
I
the
see
right.
it. Perception. Okay.
In the character sheet. That's my stuff.
23 with a 20 and a 23. Hylas, you're kind of standing there, hands on your hips. I guess hold on, I'll roll for Paige and Lorelai. It's only fair.
Rolling
Pierre and Laura.
4 page?
Sorry, not Paige.
Oh.
Pierre and Lorelai.
Okay.
Whoops. I also
I'm sure that's
accidentally
something
had
that-
Hylas highlighted. That was my mistake. Well,
Together, Joe.
Lorelai, I'm fucking all over the place. Lorelai got a nat 20. Pierre was trying to like lean over to the side to peer down this little hallway. Not totally successforally. He doesn't want to just shove his way in there, but you can see that he's clearly interested in what's ahead. Lorelai, Willow, and Hylas, you all have found the girl, and all of this is all well and good, but there's someone who kind of sits at the back of the room you're currently in, who is kind of in a stunned silence.
Stunned?
Uh-huh.
Where is she? Is she looking into the room? Is she looking somewhere
You on a 20, I will give you Willow that she's her head and her face is pointed down towards the room, but her eyes are kind of out of focus. Like she's not looking in that direction. She's not really seeing anything. She is like, it gives the look on her face, her expression gives you the sort of impression of like what's the word? Like an epiphany. It feels like you can see that she's having some sort of epiphany in this moment. She's like realizing something.
I imagine Willow was initially starting to like head towards the room, but looked around and saw that, kind of pauses. We'll take a few steps back, a little bit closer. And just kind of like glance over her shoulder, making sure that she is not the only one seeing this. And I'll look back at Dee Dee again. Dee Dee, are you okay?
You say her name and she snaps out of it, and she like startles for a second. She just goes, "Huh? Oh, and she looks ahead. This time she's more actually like looking across the table past the corpses down towards where Paige and Abigail are. She lingers on it. "I'm doing just fine, darling. Thank you for asking." And she smiles at you, Willow. And Willow, do you remember the terms of the contract?
Most of
I have a bad feeling about this.
Find the girl, and then she gets to have a conversation with each of us.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
Are the terms of the contract, like, is the contract over when we find the girl?
Technically, she still has stuff that she's supposed to get out of the contract. And the contract
She-
stipulates that we renegotiate after finding the girl.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Dee Dee is having this moment where she is sort of evaluating.
So you think
But she'll walk over.
so Willow would be
Say
able
what?
So Willow would be able to piece together, like, oh, okay, we've hit a point where a box has been checked.
Uh-huh. Dee Dee, so you would also know this just from, like, by virtue of being exposed to it and being, like, invested in strange creatures and fae. Fae have a deep connection to the contractual type of promissory agreements. And so a typical fae creature will feel it, literally feel it.
So Willow just kind of like lifts her chin a little bit as she like starts to connect the pieces, and then just tilts her head. What is it? What's the sensation that comes with a box being checked?
Dee Dee she'll take a step forward towards you, Willow, and she leans in real close, almost uncomfortably close. And she hesitates with this because she's trying not to be overwhelmed by it. She's like, freedom. She just rushes past you.
And I'm assuming though that was not a menacing movement. That was just a kind of overworked movement, or like overstimulated.
A little bit of both. It's a little bit of menacing and a little bit of overstimulated.
There's a single nod from Willow. And she'll kind of like turn and follow Dee Dee's movement around until she is again facing towards the door. And whoever is at the door looking back that direction, she just gives this like a very hard look.
What kind of hard look?
Like, okay, we got another problem. But she doesn't say anything.
I think Hylas is glancing back that way. You know, doesn't know the particulars. I think any weight that this conversation had is beyond him. But he sees that look from you, and there is just kind of this a little less clueless look at his face, like someone's in trouble, is it me? Somehow.
It's okay. So do you know like the like meme that goes around about how women can have an entire conversation without saying anything, just
Yeah.
by like their eyes? It's the like, okay, we need to like go to the bathroom and have a conversation kind of look.
Is Willow giving that look to
Not
anybody who's looking that way?
Not to Hylas in particular, but you would definitely see it in Lorelei of like, okay, there's a conversation to be had.
Okay.
And I guess towards Hylas too, if Hylas is clearly looking that direction of like, well, Dee Dee's gonna
I think
become
he
a bigger
notes it.
problem.
He's probably a little more preoccupied with the situation with the girl. But I think, roll of 23, this is probably something that doesn't escape his line of sight at least.
Well, we'll start heading down towards that room as well.
In the room with Abigail, Paige, Aang, Maddie, you are all standing in this room, and I believe there's some bloody scritchings on the wall here.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
There's very nice messages on there, but Paige is preoccupied with the girl who just passed the fuck out. Nurse Paige is deployed.
Okay.
Maddie
Roll
will
me
move her to a
if
chair.
you'd like. Go for it.
Get her somewhere a little more comfortable.
Which chair do you want to move her to?
I mean, this one, I guess.
Push 2 chairs together, maybe.
Yeah.
Make a little bed.
Yeah, you could say if you wanted to shove 2 chairs together and set her here
Mm-hmm,
so that she has an impromptu bed.
Yeah. How tall is this girl again?
She's about 5'9", 5'10".
Tall.
She's almost Willow size.
God damn. Alright. So, deploy Nurse Paige. Is there anything she can do?
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Okie doke. Okie doke. Alright. Ah, yes, I forgot that I set this whole thing up. Aha. Joseph,
Yeah?
do you see the thing?
No, I don't see a thing.
In the living
Webcam.
room webcam. The discussion
Oh.
from last night.
Yes. Now I see.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let me get rid of that.
He does.
There we go.
It's going to be a 7. 7
7.
plus 3, a 10. Every
That's
time
it.
I look at my skills, I cry. I forgot about the enshrinking every fucking time.
You guys are. I was gonna say, we've had the enshrinkening for a while. Do you guys not like the enshrinkening?
I think that it suits the tone that you're looking for in terms of you want it to be more scrabbly, survivally, insurmountable oddsy at points. I don't know if you saw this. There was actually somebody who pulled the Pathfinder 2e subreddit about alternate rules that they use, and the enshrinkening was not among. It was one of the least popular ones.
Really?
Yeah. I miss my large numbers, but I understand and am at peace with my small numbers. Is where I come down to it.
Yeah, it's not so much that I think for me, it's not that I have an issue with it at any way, shape, or form. I'm not mad at it because it's still addition. It's just that I think to me it can feel a little. It felt good to roll the things you're supposed to be good at because you knew that you were really good at that. Where this, it feels more like, okay, well, I'm average at that. Which again does match with the tone, but it also makes it feel like, well, anybody can roll crafting and probably get close to my number. Mathematically, it may not be so, but just because of the numbers that's being added, that's the vibe it gives off. It's not like Willow has to roll the crafting because she's going to be the best at it. It's anybody can roll the crafting and probably get pretty good.
Okay. I will stew on this. I think there's merit to doing it the other way, to unshrinkening, but for now we'll keep it shrinkened. And later on, I'll ping you guys again and ask if you'd rather it be unshrinkened. I then hand wave the verisimilitude parts of it aside. But for now, with the 10, Paige. With the 10 Paige, you can tell that she's not wounded in any obvious way. There are like cuts and scrapes and little nicks, but there's no like overt wound. So she's not dying or suffering greatly from any sort of bad damage. But she has, you can tell that she has like the edges of her feet are frostbitten a bit. She has definitely some kind of fever. And she is very much like fatigued.
Okay, well, in that case, Paige is going to just let out a sigh of just like, okay, she's not about to die. And, I mean, she'll just get to work on just alleviating some of the other stuff that she can, pull out old blanket, wrap some bandages on the feet, maybe like help bandage all the little cuts and scrapes. Just let her rest and recover, because I think that would do best. Maybe ask Pierre nicely if he can make soup.
From a mechanical perspective, I will say that she is effectively at full health, but she does not have any. Yeah, you will like keep her at full health, so you're also safe on that bet.
Yeah. It's more so like what Paige is doing in this time, because the girl is worn out, and Paige is going to try her best to take care of her and let her rest. So hopefully when she wakes up, she'll have proper rest, and any of the superficial wounds and things will be bandaged. And, maybe soup will help. If she's hungry and thirsty, soup fixes both.
And if we're spending a long rest here, then I'll say if Paige asks Willow does have some extra shit that she can help with, some alchemy things that she can use to help her feel better.
Yeah.
But Willow's not going to think to do it herself, unfortunately.
I mean, once Paige gets girl settled in the little makeshift bed, probably go make the rounds of like, okay, this is the situation. That's probably where Aang is like, yes, boots. Probably try and acquire, like, I don't know, a jacket for her, because it's cold. Look at supplies. There's gotta be, like, a jacket somewhere, right?
Aang has her habit.
Oh, wait, no! Okay. Paige just went on a shopping trip for her family. Mom's coat? Sorry, Mom. I'll get you another souvenir. Yeah.
This girl is like huddled up on the bed, or the impromptu bed, with like a bone deep chill. You would not do wrong to give her the coat and the habit if you so chose.
Yeah. Bundle this bitch
carefully
up.
slide the boots on her feet, and she doesn't even wiggle. She's completely conked the fuck out.
Sleep in peace.
Maddie, is there anything you wanted to do?
I don't know what Maddie could do to help in this situation, other than, like, I guess if we're camping here, kind of set up bedrolls kind of thing.
Okay. Started setting up and
see if there's
throwing
any
stuff
other
out.
threats nearby, question mark.
Check all the other doors.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question, or a good point. We have another door here, a couple doors that are not opened. I'm gonna go do that.
Mm-hmm. There are
Secure the
several
area.
doors that are unopened.
I think Hylas wants to give the girl some breathing room, fearing he's probably not in great standing with her, unconscious or not. So if Maddie is gonna go check on doors, he's gonna follow.
I'll scout ahead.
And I'll scout ahead, but behind you. Just slightly not as ahead.
Less ahead.
Yeah, so the first thing you notice when you open this door, Maddie, is there is a series of rock remains, like mineral and just deposits of stone that are thrown into these bins on either side. And some rubble that is just kind of scattered around on the ground. And there is a chute.
Look and shoot.
It is pitch black in there. It's a metal chute that you can see there's some traces of stone that have been tossed in there. You're not sure where it goes. And it's not quite big enough, it's not quite big enough for you to squeeze in there. But you know who could squeeze in there?
Paige.
Paige.
Good luck convincing her. You can try. You can try to fucking convince her.
No, not right now.
I'd like to see you try.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Is the chute grimy in any way? Is it dirty?
No, it is dirty.
perceived?
It's not grimy. It's dirty. It's got like rock dust and like bits of what you assume is just dirt. So it's not slimy or grimy, but it is definitely dirty.
Like dust from rock.
You know what?
Mm.
Can Maddie pick up a rock and kind of like try and bounce it? Just kind of take a guess
Sure.
at how deep it goes. Like bounce it back and forth is kind of the goal.
Yeah. So you know immediately after you toss it, you hear a bang, dang, ding as it's metal, and it bounces, clatters, hits the what you assume is the floor, and then dong, and it starts to roll. It goes down about 5 feet, and then it goes out and away like it's going in this direction. So it feeds somewhere at a downward slope.
Okay. So it goes the way Maddie's facing, correct?
Correct. It goes in that
Okay.
direction.
Got it.
But that
So, like-
made a bit of racket.
The fuck's going on over there?
So hypothetically, were we to send somebody, not naming any names, down the chute,
Mhm.
so you're saying that the movement is a little more horizontal? Like it's both,
Yep.
like it goes down, but like if, perhaps we send somebody who's perhaps small enough.
It'd be like a slide.
How slidey, like,
will
would it
say-
be? Like, would there be no hope of getting this unnamed person back up?
I will say, Maddie, if you stick your whole like upper torso down the hole, you won't fall in because you'll get stuck. But or you would get stuck. But if you stick your whole upper torso down and into the dark and take a look, like with your actual eyes, you can see.
Well, first, before that, she's going to try and listen to see if she hears anything reacting to the racket.
Mm-hmm. You
That's part of the
hear
reasoning.
you just hear like the kind of empty, echoey sound that you would get from like a long metal tube. No ruckus, no movement, no skittering or gurgling or
No weird
gross human
smells?
noises. No, there is a weird smell. It smells kind of like, well, eggs.
Oh.
Oh, that's.
Hmm.
That is
I
not the
will
most
give a
welcoming
hero
scent.
point. I will give a hero point to anyone who's able to name that mineral.
Sulfur.
Sulfur.
There you go.
All right, everybody, hero points.
Hero points!
Does that mean I
Hero
have
points all
3?
around. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I said it. I mean it. I stand by it. You can have 3.
Wahoo!
Hey, Hylas.
Yeah.
You mind holding onto my feet?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, bud.
I wanted you to ask him to hold onto your tail.
No.
That would hurt.
That would not
would.
support Maddie's thick muscles. What?
I'm going to
But
say,
it's such a perfect little handle.
if
You can
Hylas
dip the Maddie.
did that, Maddie would kick him.
If Hylas did that, I don't think he'd have hands anymore. I think a part of him understands that too.
Okay. Fucking slight tangent because of that now.
Oh boy, here we go. Buckle in.
I know, like, that does not work with foxes because foxes are not built like that. However, you can pick up some animals by their tails, like, not like just like primates and shit. There's dogs that are meant to be grabbed by their tails and yoink. So sometimes it does apply. Not a fox,
Grabbing
though.
by the tail is a sometimes
Mhm.
food phenomenon.
It's all everything that's considered a terrier, pretty much you can yoink them by the tail.
Understood. I do not plan on handling any terriers anytime soon, but this
Or
is
Maddies.
archived.
So,
I'm receiving this like a
Hylas.
tutorial in the bottom of my screen. Yeah.
do you help Maddie by holding her by her feet and lowering her into the hole?
Yeah, I think because he's so dang tall, he's gonna go crisscross applesauce, like just outside the chute. He's just gonna sit down, and I don't know, maneuver to the best of his ability. Logistically, however this is gonna work out. He's following Maddie's lead.
Okay.
And Maddie's
Maddie.
going in arms first,
Yep.
just in case. She's not going to have him at her side or some shit.
So I'm
So
gonna
that
move
way-
your token.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you scooch in, and the front part is like a chute, like a meant to catch a lot of stuff. And as you're kind of hand walking your way into the chute, you can see a lot of rocks and rubble and dirt just thrown in here, like people were sifting dirt. But there's no water, so it was just by hand dry sifting. And you can tiptoe your way by hand into this pipe.
Mhm.
You can't move any further because it's too small, but you can see through this pipe, and it goes downward at a very, very slight angle. But it goes further out than it does go down.
Mm.
You're not a heck of a numbers person, but this is probably like a 1 or 2% grade. Just enough that rocks will roll, but not so much that it's like you're gonna fall down it. It's not a very good slide.
It is more of a tunnel for crawling then.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case we have to tell that to somebody.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in case that information needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You never know.
You better have a lot of fucking marshmallows to pay her with.
Man didn't even know what marshmallows were. He got jack shit for you.
I think he's sort of, he's holding you there, and he's sort of like glancing around the room. I think maybe a couple of moments pass before he just kind of softly goes, see anything?
Not really. It just kind of asleep.
What?
That's about what you hear.
Yeah! I think his reaction's mine. What?
I'm trying, okay?
You're doing amazing.
If
This
you-
is perfect.
If you didn't already have 3 hero points, you can have 3 hero points, Iris.
Hey! You're not hearing her, and she's just like trying to talk. So she'll getting frustrated. She'll start backing herself up with her hands.
Wah, 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 wah.
I think that he'll take that as like, oh, okay, she wants out. And I think he just kind of moves himself from the seated position back towards, like, he's standing atop his very long legs, and in sort of one swooping motion, you're probably pried from the chute. You might even be dangling a little bit in midair.
Better hope you don't knock back your head on that bend.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sort of holding you upside down, and he just says, did I hear that right? I didn't hear it at
Yeah.
all. I just assumed you wanted out.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't really see anything down there, just kind of a little sloped. Smelled like shit, though.
Can I get down now?
Yeah. She's talking upside down, arms crossed.
There's like dust on her head, like you just stuck a Q-tip into a chimney.
Now I'm just imagining Maddie, her hair dangling into the thing upside down.
Aw.
We're renovating this place. It's all part of the necessary maintenance.
Oh my god, she's got enough fur. It's kind of like a fucking little Swiffer duster.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No.
I think he very slowly, gently, like, sets you back on the ground, but like head first. Not your weight is not like going onto your head first, but like that's the order of operations.
Like laying her out like a rug.
Yeah.
No. She has hands. She can put her weight on her hands.
Okay. Yeah.
When he lets go, she'll stand normally. Kind of land on her, like, from a handstand
There's-
onto feet.
There's no universe or fiction or setting in which the movement of holding someone by their feet and transitioning them back into a standing position is cool or not awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's definitely awkward. But it's not like she falls on her ass, is more what I'm saying.
True.
Yeah. I think he crosses his arms and goes, what do you think it is? Some kind of
Sister?
trash disposal thing?
I mean, it looks like they were looking for something.
So what we can kind of gather from this room is they were sifting through these minerals.
Mm-hmm.
And something was going down the chute, some kind of rock. I guess what kind of rocks did Maddie see down there?
It just looked like more granite, more rubble. Nothing unique. It seems like the type of, I mean, if I could equate it to a very simplistic term, it would be like Minecraft cobblestone. It was just the gray rock that just is around.
I see. So would it be easier for her to assume that that's where they were putting the stuff they didn't want? Maybe?
Yes, that is exactly it. It seems like, and judging from the little bits of rock that you see in these little troughs, they sit about slightly above waist high. There aren't tools in them at the moment, but these rocks are larger slabs, and they are being broken into smaller and smaller pieces, like they are being hand-picked or excavated.
Oh. Okay.
Almost like a little geode cracking area.
Okay.
Though there are no geodes, but that's the vibe at least.
Yeah, I get the picture. I'm not sure Hylas would, really get the weight of what was going on here, but I think he would ask Maddie. So can you make heads or tails of what this place was for?
Some kind of rock dump. Shrug. I mean, they were looking for something, but that's all I really got. 'Cause it doesn't look like they found it. She just kind of shrugs both hands, like, eh. We'll just kind of move around Hylas to start walking out.
Okay. Yeah, I guess there are some other places we haven't checked out.
Yep.
I think on the way out the door, he sort of pats you on the back and he goes, just let me know if you need me to hold your feet again.
Yeah, I will. Thanks for the help. I can't move, Maddie. Thank you. You have to move Hylas because I can't. Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
lagging.
cause the. Yeah. Oh, okay.
My computer, I don't know, it's taking off. It wants to lunge in his face.
Ooh.
Doesn't happen often. Sometimes Foundry just lags it for some reason. I don't know what causes it.
One or two.
Two.
Wine cellar.
Hey,
This one's
boom.
pretty readily apparent to you. You crack open the door and you can see that there are loads of wine bottles. Most of them are unopened too.
Oh shit. Grab.
Mhm.
A wine cellar just seems like such an odd thing to have next to your sulfur filtering station. I
There's
would
also
understand
clearly
that
a banquet hall right there, so
hmm
Yeah, the rock station, I guess, is the weird outlier here. We still don't know what's behind door number 1.
Maddie's gonna look up the date on it.
There's a roll me a D100. You're looking for a 15 or less.
Good, because I'm gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Holy shit, you got it.
Wow!
Okay. You pull a vintage wine off the shelf. It says, it is written in French, but you can tell that the vintage, at least where you would assume it would have a vintage date, it says 1914.
Wait,
What?
Wait.
75 years something. Well, 1914. That's after.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the future.
that's in the future.
Maybe it's a harvest by or drink by date.
What?
I'll remind you, it's in French.
Are-
Can Maddie read
Okay.
French?
She can't read French, but she knows numbers.
Yeah, maybe it says Best Buy 1914.
Okay, has Maddie ever encountered Best Buy on
No.
exactly?
Best Buy didn't exist until like the fucking 60s.
Exactly. Grab some other bottles. Check their dates.
Roll me another D100. I don't think it's going to get better than you calling it like, okay, fine, I'll get it, and getting less than a 15 on the spot. But I want you to roll it to see what happens. Never fucking mind. Never mind my dumbass. I'm reverse jinxing it. Yeah, you put
Sit down, Joe.
You grab just another, yeah. You grab just one or two off the shelf again. You see another one, 1902. Another one, 1868.
1860.
Okay, that
What?
is the past.
Yeah, what are you
Is it
in
also
again?
French?
Are we 1899 right now?
Yes, we are in
Yeah.
1899.
Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna take all these bottles, poke her head out the door to Hylas.
Mm.
You don't happen to read this language?
I don't think I do, but can I take a look anyways?
Sure.
Are they all in French?
The three that you grabbed, yes, they are all in French.
Okay.
I don't think I remember taking like languages even.
Both of you roll me perception checks.
You got it.
Oh, my spells are okay.
Didn't do too hot.
You're
Sorry, boss.
reading this label real intensely. You're trying to divine something from it that you don't know. But you don't know what. Just like maybe it's a quantity.
Yeah, just for context for you though, the languages was a question that was asked before we even hit Pathfinder as to what
Mhm.
languages would they know. and then we just
Mhm.
brought it into the like languages, because languages in Pathfinder are based off your intelligence score, I think, in part. Of
Okay.
Mhm.
when we came in, it was like, okay, well, I get to learn X number of languages, but Orc doesn't exist necessarily, so we'll learn German instead.
Gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah, but
working
you
with the-
and Maddie are
yeah.
fixated on these labels.
Maddie will call out because I assume that neither of us, like, the confusion is evident in both of our eyes. Yeah.
He's looking at it really hard, and he just, without a word, looks up at you and shakes his head solemnly.
Maddie is not glaring, but like focusing really hard, trying to understand the words. She looks annoyed. She looks at Hylas. Back at the bottle. Hey, could one of you smarties come out here? I need help reading this.
Now,
If I stare at this long enough, it
As-
will magically translate.
with a 6 on a perception check, that's what I think you would probably try. But as you cry out, I want to rewind the clock, because while Maddie and Hylas were having their little, like, check and survey the area, what were the rest of you guys doing in this room here?
I assume Willow was
Willow,
looking at whatever's
Paige,
on the
Fang.
fucking desk.
I knew somebody would. There's something on the desk that probably piques your interest more than anything else, Willow. There is a journal, or something that looks like a journal.
She'll pick it up.
Flipping through it, it is written in English, which is, I think, the first English you've seen in this dungeon. But flipping through it in English, it seems like less of like an organized daily journal and more like a scratch pad. Like, you flip through it and there are a handful of pages that are math equations. There's a handful of pages that are musings about some type of like problem that a person was ruminating on. There are entries that are talking about like day-to-day affairs between friends or other associates who are like various names who are just thrown around. And as you are flipping through it, you can see there are a few recipes for alchemical mixtures also thrown in.
Does this mean I
Now,
get
of
anything?
those, yes, you get new recipes that you can add to your recipe book.
Eh,
Let me know when you are ready, and I will tell you what you can add to your recipe book.
I'm just gonna write it down over here first. Why is it that I always pull out a pen or a pencil and then it just fucking disappears? Okay.
Okay. So, the first one is Eagle Eye Elixir. Next one is Cat's Eye Elixir. There is Anti-Plague.
Okay.
Glue Bomb.
Okay.
Dread Ampule. and arsenic.
Just straight up arsenic. Okay.
Yep.
So I imagine, like, Willow goes from, like, kind of sorting through things and just kind of, like, looking at one thing, putting it down, looking at another thing, putting it down, picks up the notebook, starts to flip, slows down more, and sits down and starts pulling out her own book.
Amy, I need a favor.
What's up?
Can you link me to the OneNote? I need to look up a thing that I forgot.
Sure.
And I'm assuming whenever there is a lesser, major, moderate, I'm getting lesser versions, right?
Yes, but I will say that you can also get from this the level. I believe there are occasionally level 3 versions, which I will say that you can get the ability. You have the ability to craft the level 3 ones as well. Since you get the recipe for them, you can craft them at whatever levels are equal to or less than your character level.
Okay.
Just sent it into resources.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Based, for taking notes.
I try.
We appreciate.
Thank God.
Eternally grateful.
Now, as you are combing through and getting these recipes and copying them down, you do come upon an entry. It's short, but I will send it to you, Willow.
Imagine she like flips past another recipe, comes to this, kind of reads it, keeps flipping for a second, and then her brain catches up and is like, wait, flips back, reads it again. And she, without like looking up, will just kind of like tilt her head in the direction of Lorelei. But we'll say it loud enough that everyone in the room can hear, even though she is kind of directing tacitly her comment towards Lorelei. I don't suppose you've ever heard of anything called the halls below, have you?
To Lorelei, she just shakes her head. I can't say that I've heard of it. Any such thing. What is it?
She'll just kind of like tap the page and lean back so that she can look. Apparently, there's somewhere of interest.
She looks at it and just, you can see her reading it and then reading it from the top again and just shaking her head and shrugging. Well, I've never heard of it. Do you think it's here? She just kind of gestures around, like points her finger around the room to indicate like this compound.
Willow just, not even looking up, just gives a little nod. I have a hard time imagining that it would be anywhere else. Dee Dee, Aang, have either of you heard of the halls below?
I imagine that
Hmm.
Aang has not.
Aang hasn't, but there's something about it. So, words and specifically names are things that hold a lot of power, especially with Fae, and like the energy that is within the name, the hulls below. Like if that is what it is properly called by someone, it has a bad vibe to it. It gives you a distinct like shiver up your spine. I don't like that kind of vibe. But you've never heard of it.
Yeah, Aang, who I imagine to be fussing over the kid, hears the name, and it's just a very full body shudder, and I think she might make just like a small hissing sound, and then shakes her head.
The hissing
Dee
sound
Dee
does
similarly-
manage to like grab Willow's attention to where you get the like look over the shoulder, kind of look above the glasses for a moment.
Dee Dee similarly just kind of shakes her head and gives a kind of wrinkled nose, like distasteful kind of look, and says, "Don't know nothing by that name. I can tell you for sure I don't like it. Something about it gives me the jeebies."
Would it be fair to say that it feels unnatural, Joe?
Correct. Yes.
Yes, okay. So Aang will nod along. I like the way it hits my bones. 'Tis unnatural.
Willow just kind of like taps the page again, and she gives one single nod, though you're not sure if she's agreeing or just like acknowledging that she heard. Yeah, something interesting all the same. She will continue her transcription.
I will give you another note. This one is close to the beginning. There aren't dates attached to these, as they seem mostly like just random scratchings. But there is one towards the front that you would have seen.
Man, Joe.
What?
Joe. Alright, she'll make a note of that. She's not gonna like voice that because that's less interesting to her. At least for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Lorelei, meanwhile, is waving the detector around. Paige, Aang, do either of you have anything that you would be doing in this interim little bit of time before the call of Maddie rings for someone to read French?
Probably.
What's up?
After Paige made sure that the girl was all situated and tucked in, I assume Aang helped with that, because mom vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Aang is very fussy and worried about the girl.
Paige probably, I don't know, feel like there's nothing to be done here except wait, and she's not about to just sit here and watch the girl sleep. And there's something else that she kind of feels like she needs to do. So, Joe, if it's alright with you, I'd like for Paige to nab Pierre for a quick Frenchy conversation over here in this corner. Just so they don't disturb the girl or Willow in her reading. Because, I mean, it's reading. Paige can't fucking help with that. Yeah. Probably went to go... Imagine panic, grab all the fucking blankets and shit, wrap the girl into a burrito. And now it's like, okay, well, we grabbed all our shit. We gotta put him back now. And she enlists Pierre's help. Because, oh, shit's heavy. But once they're alone, I imagine Paige... It's not often that she seems awkward. But in this moment, she does. And she's kind of just, like, glancing at Pierre from, like, out of the corner of, like, her eye. A little too often. As she's, like, going through their bags. She's never known how to start these kinds of things.
Pierre takes the initiative then and just goes, "What is it? You always do this when you want to say something, but just don't know what to say."
And I don't know what you're talking... Okay. Just gonna step closer. I wanted to say that I am sorry for what happened earlier, and for what I said to you.
He looks in a weird way like a little awkward himself, and he just kind of looks down into the left and just goes, "Don't worry about it. It is
Don't just brush it off. It's just..." And she just takes a deep breath, and I feel like at this point, she probably hears like some shuffling of the other people, and she lowers her voice a bit more, and she's gonna go and swap to French, her main language. Like, look, I was an asshole to you. I think we both know how I can get sometimes.
He shrugs in a non-committal way and just goes, "It's okay. I know you don't mean it."
I know you're just looking out for me, and I shouldn't have just told you to not.
He, a little bit more earnestly, like, kind of straightens his shoulders up or straightens his back and pushes his shoulders up a little bit. Just goes, "I agree, you shouldn't have. But I'm not gonna hold it over your head. So, if you need me to forgive you, I forgive you.
Thank God. Okay.
Just looking out for family."
I know, and you're doing... you're always doing a great job at that. It's just that there are some things that I need to do if I want to make sure that all of us make it out okay. And not dead. I don't want any of us to die. So...
Pierre smiles kind of weakly, and there is... You can roll me either diplomacy or perception.
Okie doke. Let's see. We got 6 in diplomacy. I don't know what my perception... Oh, it's a +5. I'm gonna go with diplomacy. That is a 10 plus 6, 16.
For a 16, you get the impression from Pierre, like, he smiles and the smile doesn't quite hit his eyes. But he does smile and he says, I know, you gotta do what you can do. And you can do some pretty incredible things. Especially things that can help get us out of here in one piece. And there is the expression on his face is one that is like proud of you, but also he is wounded because there is a distinct part of him that feels like he was weighing you down in a way.
Oh.
Like he can't do the things you can do. And he views them with an air of danger that maybe is unwarranted. But it is like coming from a place that he is worried is envy.
And Paige shoots forward, wrap him in a hug.
You can hear, like, when you wrap him in a hug, he just gives, like, the, oh, there.
Look, I know it's dangerous. I know the risks of getting found out by a lot of people. But if I can do something to protect you and the people that we're traveling with, I'm going to do my best to do that. But I'm still going to try and hide it. I'm really good at hiding things. But I am really sorry for worrying you. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Pierre opens his mouth and he just says, "No, it's okay." And then right as he starts to go into his thought, you hear Maddie cry out. What was it? Hey, Frenchies?
Smarties.
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 Can someone read this?
French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe us, we tried. If anybody knows that the language we're looking at is French, it could only be somebody who speaks French.
Yeah, fucking, hey, Smarties. Well, that's not Paige. So, glance in the direction. Just looks down into the room, points to the fucking doorway of like, oh, they're in there. That's where the smart people are.
Somebody's gonna have to shake Willow out of her reading.
Lorelai snaps to attention and will, like, tap a hand in front of Willow's face, like an open palm, like tap 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 in front of where you would be reading.
Just kind of
And
blatant,
Lorelai points.
dirty look.
Somebody needs your help.
I was getting to some interesting bits.
Oh, boo. And she snatches the book out of your hands. My turn. She sits in the chair and crosses her legs and starts to, like, flip through the pages.
She's like, there's the starting sound of protest, and then like, oh, okay, and then just shaking her head as she starts to walk by. And I imagine if Aang is there by the door, just hears, she never grows up. It's always the same, always the same. Since she was 5 years old. Slowly
Aang.
makes her way around. Yeah. Kira?
Oh, I was just going to say that Aang would smile to herself at that. That very, one of those, like, knowing smiles of, I'm not going to say anything because it would be obnoxious if I did, but I am going to enjoy what is currently being said. Not in a condescending way, more in the, like, mom fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Willow will make her way over to Maddie and Hylas. Spot the wine bottles before she knows what's going on with them. She's like, somehow I'm not surprised that you managed to find alcohol in this place.
Look, I tried figuring it out myself, okay? What does Bordeaux mean?
That's fucking fuck. God, if you didn't already have 3 inspiration, you'd have that's twice.
Oh, gold.
You just
That's
see
like-
a very blank stare and a blink. Like, what? Grab
Right here.
the bottle.
No.
Bordeaux. This is French. We never learned French. How old are you and you've never learned French?
I haven't needed it.
That's
Hylas
clearly a
avoids eye
lie.
contact.
Maddie's like, how old are you? You've never learned Warhammer.
Yeah. Look, I know what booze is, okay? That's all I need to know.
There's you can see the comments forming on the tip of Willow's tongue. But she will take the bottle and examine it.
What I do know, though, that date's wrong. And this one. Is this like a special number or something? Because it looks like a date. Am I just...
Yeah, Willow, reading it up and down, it says it is a winery from France, which doesn't exist anymore. And it says circa 1914.
Whoa.
So, the university that was like mentioned in that note that you sent,
Mm-hmm.
has she seen any mention of a university by name anywhere
Not
else
by
in
name.
all of the things?
No, you've just heard them talk about the university at large, but no specific university by name.
There's a frown, and the frown grows and grows for a second, and then she shakes her head. I think that this place was much more complicated than we first thought.
What do you mean?
And she will, still holding, like, I imagine 2 bottles, one in each hand, just like lift one and
Mhm.
like raise one finger and like to wait a moment, and then like curl her finger. And it's like, come with me, and she will kind of briskly walk back towards the other room.
As you are walking by, Willow, I will give you this one for free. There's a wine bottle on the table. Smack in the middle.
And what is the date on that one?
If you were to reach over and grab it and look at it, it's been tipped over and it's completely dry. The date on that one says 1941.
41. She like
41.
one bottle down, reaches over, looks at that one, blinks, double checks the one she just set down to make sure that like she wasn't misreading the first one. And I imagine there is just a little bit of like her seeming to go just a little paler, like a shade paler than she normally is. And she looks towards Maddie. Glances at Hylas and looks back at Maddie. I think the weirding might have done more than just mess with our land. I think it might have messed with time.
Maddie is looking at Willow. And like, you can see the look of like, oh, this is some kind of prank, right? Like you kind of see it kind of flash in her eyes, like, oh, she's fucking with me. But seeing how serious Willow is, she doesn't act on it. Like, it kind of sobers her up a bit. It's like, is that even possible?
And Willow just kind of head goes one way and the other, and the kind of like, yeah, maybe. You can see she's essentially running some math in her head. On a theoretical level, possibly it is. We've never come anywhere close to it. But if it did indeed mess with time, and she picks up the empty bottle and hands it to Maddie so Maddie can see the ear. That is nearly 100 years into the future from when the weirding started. Who knows what they would have accomplished by then?
And you're sure it's just, like, not mislabeled or some weird French way of writing something?
And Willow opens her mouth.
Itself,
Go ahead, Joe.
She's being serious too here.
The bottle itself, it has like an adhesive stick to it and like a printed label like that is distinctly different from the bottle that is 1868.
And Willow will like open her mouth, close her mouth, open her mouth, and just. First off, French were writing before we were. Second, well, I pride myself on being rather up to date and in fact at the head of most sciences. This, she just kind of like vaguely gestures around, has had science that I have never even heard of, let alone fully understand on first glance. So either there's a group of people that have managed to not only advance science in a direction that I have been completely unable to foresee, let alone learn about, in secret, and also end up here long enough ago that they look like this, gesturing to the bodies. Or they come from before, or they come from long after we come. She kind of gestures between herself and Maddie and Hylas.
Hylas's brows furrow. His eyes were following every gesture that you made. I think weirdly there's sort of a look on his face that would indicate that he is just as lost as he always is. But there is something else to it. Almost like a relief that you are just as lost as he is. Or not even just as lost as he is, but like a relief that you also seem to be unsure of what's going on. I think all that comes out of his mouth is, you got all that just by looking around?
Yeah, looking around, and she like gestures up because they have come down several floors. As telescopes and microscopes that I do understand as things, but far more detailed and meticulous than anything I've ever seen or heard of before or after the Awakening. Let alone them being able to actually make some of the things required with our current infrastructure. Then there's that box that my sister's been clinging to that I have no idea what it does, well, some idea of what it might do, but the mechanics of it are...
Okay, but if this is like saying, like going on what you're saying is true, right? If that's the case, wouldn't there have been other people who, I don't know, been from the future? Wouldn't like people know about this? Or did they just, they all for some reason ended up here and decided to hide them?
And she crosses her arms. Theoretically, there should be other people. But well, there was implication that this was a university at some point, and they said the university was scattered. There's far too many reasons and possibilities
Well, how long ago was the, this weirding?
Willow pauses and slowly looks at Hylas. Because I'm assuming, like, that question is, like...
Is it general knowledge?
Vaguely, like, asking, like, in this day and time of, like, how long ago was, like, this, like, World War I? You know that's in the early 1900s.
Okay.
Yeah,
When was Jesus born?
It was a global event.
Okay.
Do you want to retract that statement?
I will retract that statement and substitute it for a, well, how do I want to word this? Actually, this is a weird thing to put together. Hang on, the family just got home with groceries. I mean, weirding happened at one point, and it messed with time at that one point. This might be a thought that he looks a little uncomfortable thinking about this. Then wouldn't I guess would what's the question? It doesn't seem weird to me that we wouldn't know that much about I'm sorry, I have to move my computer.
Oop. Paige, would all of this commotion it caused Pierre to lose his train of thought, but would you want to relocate with Pierre to continue the conversation, or would you be interested in what's going on?
I feel like she did what she needed to do, which was apologize to her brother.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck they doing over there?
Mm-hmm. Sounds serious.
It's like, I don't know if I want to be involved in that, but I guess I kind of have to be, considering the situation. I'm gonna find out sooner
I
or
don't know
later.
if it's gonna suddenly involve me now.
Yeah.
Comes in right as Willow is like inspecting the new bottle from the table. Here's all that bullshit.
Oh.
Egg is
Yeah.
on mom duty.
Aang is on mom duty.
What does an immortal fae give a shit about time?
What?
Said, what does an immortal fae give a shit about
Oh.
time?
Yeah, well, it would feel very uncomfortable to her if she knew. But right now, her concern is making sure that the girl is okay.
Hmm.
And she does not like this place very much either. So,
Do you think we could convince her to just step over here? The door is open.
She can hear.
yeah, she can.
And so, like, Paige pokes her head in. It's like, I feel like she hears bits and pieces. She's not fully paying attention, but the vibe is that there's some shit going on. And poke her head in. Look at Angharad. Alright?
Aang will look up.
I think that, I just found some things that, we should probably hear.
He will emerge.
Also, we can keep the doors open, and you can sit right, points to chair that's in view.
Yeah, that makes sense. She will sit there. Above table, I am not trying to be difficult or anything. I just didn't want to, I wasn't sure about getting in there, so.
No, it's okay. Paige is obtrusive enough.
That's what Paige is for, to drag everybody
Yeah.
back together.
Paige
You gotta
is
have
very
your
much
designated extrovert.
your designated bitch extrovert who's just like, okay, there's some shit that's gonna involve all of us. God damn it. Alright, Aang, we gotta go figure out what the fuck they found, because it's gonna involve us. But she says it in a nice way.
And also, no, Charlie, no. Willow cannot let him just be a himbo. Willow is judgy like that.
Joe, could we have scooched the makeshift chair bed a square to the left where Aang is, so Aang could sit over here and be in view?
Yeah. Easily enough.
Easy clap.
Easy clap. Scooch to bed. Bringing the Angharad over.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Scooch.
don't know what you found.
Yeah.
Probably not good, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm trying to.
Ouchies.
Eyeline.
Eyeline doesn't exist. The hallway's too narrow. You have to
hallway
pretend.
is too damn narrow.
Wait, here, hold on. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you hold shift while carrying your token, you can place it off the grid.
Oh.
Oh,
That's very
shit.
helpful. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect.
Oh, perfect. I can sit in the chair.
Yeah, I forgot that I learned that, and I had to relearn it. It is so nice to be able to just plop yourself wherever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Bye, Zell.
So no.
Aang looks around at all of the worried faces and just tilts her head.
Willow, realizing that there is now more of a crowd, she will, because I know Paige can't read, but Paige does know numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she will turn.
Does Willow know that Paige can't read? I don't think
No,
so.
Willow doesn't, but I'm like trying to make sure that this
yeah.
action would actually be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Willow would turn the oldest bottle towards Paige, and she would especially know how to read the dates on alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Paige, what year is that
yes.
from? It's
To the oldest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks at it and she's like, a bit ago, 1868?
And Willow nods. And we'll pick up the empty bottle from the table and put that in front of Paige. And this one.
This one, wait. Just gonna grab the bottle, inspect, look at ear, squint.
Look at it, hold it closer, look at it harder.
Fucking tap, 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 Pierre. Shove bottle in his face.
He grabs it and like pulls it back. He's like, "What is it? It's just a bottle of."
Look at that, yeah.
He goes silent and just looks at it. What is this?
Well, it is a problem. Okay,
It was the bottle that was sitting here on the table. Bottle they were drinking during the last meal, I presume.
Gonna snatch it from Pierre. It's a poison
There's
one.
no grip strength behind it. You just swipe it right out of his hands.
It's like, yes, the one that is filled with the poison. Cool.
Yeah, perhaps it was filled at one point, but you'll see that's quite dry, which means it was emptied quite some time ago, which means that it was 1943, even longer ago than we thought.
It's so...
The stumbling on, over the noises, Willow just shakes her head. There is no firm answer that I can give you, or anybody here. If logic dictates that certain things are impossible and other things are possible, then must go with what is still possible. And she just takes the bottle back from Paige.
Mm-hmm.
And is staring at it. So, with all of the things that happened in the evening, we can only hypothesize that time was disturbed as well as land.
Okay. So, the time just mixed it all up, and now we have all these people here, and... Oh, I guess... They were, yeah?
Pierre holds up his hand. What does that mean for us, though? Is it the time has been... He just shuffles his hands around without saying anything.
And Willow just kind of head goes side to side. I can't be certain of that either. There's possibility that people that are capable of science and math and creation and engineering that we haven't even dreamed of yet are around. Or that their creations are still here and we will have no idea what it means. And she just kind of gestures around the room. Which, theoretically, could advance science far faster than it ever could, but also, well, imagine giving a gun to a caveman.
As you say that, Willow, you hear from the other room where Lorelei is, Willow, There's more in this journal.
Come in here. What is it?
She hustles over and like awkwardly shuffles past the impromptu bed setup.
The crib.
The crib.
There's a turn, and not like an angry glance, but a very I am watching you.
The baby
Lorelai
crib.
is deft. She moves in the way that like a moderately clumsy cat would. She's still graceful, just not the most graceful. But she flips through a couple pages, and you can see that she's like going back to an entry she found. She flips past some sketches, a couple of like recipes, a couple of formulas, and she holds up to you, Willow, an entry. Oh, I was supposed to post one. Just that one.
And Willow kind of tilts her head and is reading the entry. And her brow furrows and there's a frown. She takes the book, passes a wine bottle to Lorelai, reads this entry again, and shakes her head. Even those that were here were ancient by the terms of others that appeared.
Lorelai just goes, and that's unfortunately not all. She reaches over and flips a few pages until you see this entry.
Willow just frowns, and I'm just going to take these two. She will read this shit out loud. I'm not going to read it out loud. I'll put these in here. Nope. Joe, can you copy paste the 2 paragraphs in general?
I will copy paste the 2 paragraphs into general.
Everyone just staring at Willow and Lorelai.
Today's sponsor is Discord Nitro.
In these halls above halls. Oh boy. Yep.
Willow.
A feast among friendly faces. Oh boy.
Willow reads it out loud for everybody and then kind of looks around and looks back. So that means that there were people being dropped in here from multiple points within a timeline. Perhaps most of those who managed to survive were from roughly the time of our parents. Kind of nods towards Paige and Pierre. Or time roughly around when you were born. Looks towards Maddie. But that doesn't negate that there were people from... And she just gestures towards the newest bottle. And all of that science and all of that math and that discovery piling together and mixing together. Well, when science advances too quickly, sometimes things get a little messy.
What do you mean?
And Willow just looks at her again. Or looks at Maddie. I refer again to the giving a pistol to a caveman. You know what a pistol does. You know vaguely how it works.
Mm-hmm.
A caveman, though he may be able to figure out how to pull the trigger, has no idea. Can end up shooting somebody that he didn't intend shooting himself, catching fire to something. On you, think about that in the scheme of something that she kind of lifts up the journal as they are saying is the building blocks of the universe. Very basis of our being. Imagine what a caveman could do with that.
I just want to say, I saw Dee Dee move. Eyes emoji.
Mm-hmm. She's just strolling around the room. Don't mind
Eyes
her.
emoji, Joe.
Aang is on watch.
Dee Dee is standing very delicately over the sleeping girl, but she'll look up and see you, Aang. She just smiles at you. But even to you, Aang, her smile seems a lot more empty than it normally does.
Aang will tilt her head. One of those tilts where her head moves a bit too quickly, you know, and just a little bit further than a human's head could tilt. It's just a little weird. And we do have Sylvanas space peak, yes.
Yeah.
She will call out in said language. I sense a difficult time approaches us, kindred.
She replies to you in Sylvan, very, very softly, such that only you can really hear it. And she says, difficult times all round.
It was a pleasure being thy friend, for as long as that span was granted unto us.
You can see, like, there is like her eyes, the color in her eyes gets dull. And you, for the first time, Aang, since you've known her really, you get the sensation that rather than camaraderie or like a sort of shared understanding or mutual understanding being the first bond that you've like tugged on with her, rather than that bond being there, it is instead a bond of like we are fast approaching a fork in the road between our relationship.
I think Aang understands this. There's that, just, two animals who have spotted the same carcass, and both know there's probably going to be a fight in a second. They're both hungry. Not that Aang wants to harm the girl at all, but that immediate sense of, oh, this is going places, isn't it?
She's not going to act though. She will retreat very, very delicately back away.
Aang will continue to keep an eye on the girl.
Baby monitor is on.
Lorelai will look at you, Willow, and say, "So what do we do? What do we do with all of this? Do we just... I feel like there's more of this place we haven't seen yet. The halls with a capital H."
Willow, the frown that she had upon reading the journal just grows a little deeper. There's certainly more here than we have found. This journal, I highly doubt that we have scratched the surface of this place. But perhaps what is in here is better left forgotten. Fit into this. She gestures around the room. And the halls. I think the halls were even further beyond their understanding than they knew.
Oh, I mean, if that's the case, let's just destroy the book and get out of here. Barricade the entrance if it's that dangerous.
Lorelai looks positively wounded at that idea, but she doesn't speak out against it.
Lou closes the book. She doesn't hand it towards Maddie. She just closes the book and see that she is like staring at it but not at it. Kind of looking beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt it's going to be that simple. Can't be certain, but I do have an inkling that I know what those holes down below are. Or could be. And if they are what I think, I'll have an easier time trying to blow up every building in the entire world.
Maddie just gives a look of like, okay, continue.
And Willow sighs. And looks at the bottles of wine. I think we need drinks and food for the rest of this conversation.
Imagine Paige was small enough to just be able to stick crisscross applesauce on the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking looks up at that. She's like, I can have that sandwich. I think that's a good idea, because yeah, none of this is good.
looks towards Maddie. If it's all right with you, I think we should set up camp in the other room, away from the bodies. And we can revisit that question in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Lorelei
sounds good
looks-
to me.
Lorelei looks towards one of the bodies near her feet and then looks, and she's speaking to you, Maddie, but she just goes, "And is it too much to ask if you could maybe move some of these bodies for me, please?"
I mean, sure, but why?
She just gets like just a gross look at one of them. They make me unsettled.
You're admitting to having a
Thank-
weak stomach, Lorelei.
She looks at you and sticks her lip out. Sorry, if death and dinner don't go as well together as they do in a sentence.
Isn't that what the other room's for?
She looks the other room. Suppose you're right. Though there is that locked door in there as well.
I'll go check it out while y'all set up camp.
Hmm.
2 locked doors are better than, what, 6? 7?
Two? There's only one.
I think this over here is
In
also
this
a
room.
locked door.
Oh, okay.
As this is going on, Aang will call out to Lorelei, "Perhaps I may prevail upon thy time for a moment, young Lorelei. 'Tis not often I am availed of the opportunity to practice my native tongue."
Native tongue? And she carefully skips over this body and will slide over. What do you mean, native tongue?
Thou speakest Welsh now?
Oh, but she gets a little bashful about it, like puts one hand on her elbow and then does the pshaw gesture. She goes, "I dabble."
Aang will switch to Welsh then. And she will at first just. She's just testing the waters at first. So you understand me perfectly? Or shall I keep things simpler?
Lorelei is like aghast, and you see her like processing, and she slowly starts to nod. Yes, I am Lorelei. She speaks in Welsh, and it's a little rickety, but it's correct. It is grammatically correct, but it's very much that she is like, okay, I have not tread this in a while. This was before all of this. It was an academic exercise so I could read old books and haughty poetry and look down my nose at people who thought they could look down their nose at me.
A very, very narrow array of poetry and literature that was printed in Welsh, yes. She will nod and tilt her head, and she's smiling as if they're having a regular conversation. Yes, very good. I would ask of you a favor. Is that all right?
You see her processing again, and then she slowly nods.
I would like if you told your sister, through whatever languages you might share, tongues this clumsy creature understands not, that the time of difficulty with my kindred is near.
You see her, she's like following, And then you see her kind of squint and narrow her eye, or like squint and kind of furrow her brow. And you see her like nodding. And then she nods again and looks down the hallway like nervously. But Dee Dee isn't there. She looks back at you and she says in, again, technically correct, but still a little clunky Welsh, how long until things fall apart?
Aang did not get the sense it would be very long, did she?
Not very long, no.
Not very long.
She nods, and then nods once again, and then nods like again, like very feverishly. Also, hello again, Zell.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome back,
What a
friend.
Oh,
Actually, type up what I missed. I'm gonna stay muted for a bit.
oh,
Aang then nods. Very good. I do really want to practice. I haven't had the opportunity in many years. So please forgive my deception in this matter, but I thought it important.
she nods. And you see her like lick her lips and kind of purse her lips in a thinking gesture. She holds up a hand as if to say, like, wait one moment.
Processing.
And she again scuttles down, carefully dodging around the sleeping person. Will rush over to Willow and like hurriedly shake Willow on the shoulder. It's like, Willow, we have to. And she stops and sees Dee Dee over her shoulder. What is a language that Willow and Lorelei share? Hold on.
I don't know what you have given her.
What do you have? Because you probably have a lot of overlap with you.
Chinese, French, German, Latin, Spanish.
Oh, man. Okay, so you guys both definitely overlap on French and German. Probably a little bit of Latin, though she's not speaking fluent. She just knows it for the sake of knowing roots of scientific terms. She would probably know something else. She would differ in Spanish. I like to think that she and Willow both know Chinese, but to different extents.
She only learned the curse words in Chinese.
So you see Lorelei come over, and then she shakes you to get your attention, and she stops. And you don't have to roll for this because you like she's your sister. You just know her almost instinctively at this point. And there is like an expression on her face that is like there's an expression on her face that reads more of like, oh shit, I forgot about something. And then you can see her processing, going into that like, I have to think about something before I say it kind of gesture. And she will say in the most broken, heinous Chinese you have ever heard, she will say, friend, corner, deal, bad.
I imagine there is a very clear like eye twitch at the horrible Chinese, and Willow is stuck on that for just a minute. Like, what the
Or like
fuck?
can see that you're stuck, and she's just like, just move on. I know it's not good. It's just shooing you, just like hurry up, and just make fun of my Chinese later.
And it slowly starts to click forward towards processing the words in the meeting. And I think Willow has enough self-control and like acumen to be like, okay, I'm not gonna look to the corner. And she nods. Very simply in Chinese, be like, I know. And well, imagine she was putting a couple of the other pages, like papers and stuff, into this journal to like collect them all before camp like had a chance of like strewing them all over the place. And we'll turn fully towards Lorelai again, and we'll look past her down the hall towards the other room where the others are. Is Aang looking in?
Aang is looking in because she has the cover of looking at the kid.
I don't have a picture of it. I wish I had a picture of it on hand, but I imagine Aang is doing the thing that Winchester does every time he spies on either the girl cats in our house, where he will hold his face halfway between a wall so he can peer with one eye down the full length of the hallway, and he looks like maximum like sleuth doing his little skulky creeper look where he's just like, they can't see me, but I can see them.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Aang just half obstructed, but you can see one eye is very keenly focused on the situation.
How... Lorelai's freaked out right now, right?
Yes, she is very nervous.
Well, it just gives Lorelai a little nod and kind of like hand on her shoulder, turn her around, starts walking back towards the door with a little push in her shoulder. She's going ahead of her. And Willow will end up stopping just like here. And is Dee Dee just like sitting down, or is she like standing menacingly in a corner?
Dee Dee, she is sitting down, but she is sitting down in the most menacing way possible, in that she is sitting down perfectly rigidly straight with her hands on either side, like on the armrests of the chair, and you can see she is like staring into the middle distance. She is like vacantly staring and clearly deep in thought.
Willow just kind of like stops halfway to the door and looks towards Dee Dee and just crosses her arms. And there's a very slow, deep sigh. And she just kind of inclines her head towards Dee Dee and will speak very calmly. I suppose that what camaraderie I was trying to establish with you is gone for nothing.
She like snaps out of it and just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I was thinking about something. What was that about comrades?"
And Willow actually turns to face her like full on, still arms crossed and like head tilted to one side. You're a very strange woman, but I hope you do know that I have enjoyed talking to you.
Dee Dee smiles, and it is like almost a pitying smile, where she smiles, but like her eyes are a little bit sad. She just goes, "Oh, I know. I wanted you to like being around me. I like when people like me.
But there was no mutual enjoyment of conversation, was there?
She inhales real deeply and kinda you can roll me a diplomacy check, if you please, Willow.
Where is my shit? Where is my shit? There it is. Not that great at this one.
– 14. Okay. With the 14, she inhales and fills up and just puts her hands in her lap, and she's sitting more in an animated way, which is kind of what you expect from her. And she crosses her legs and kind of swings and bounces up and down in her seat. She just goes, "Well, I didn't hate you," which is saying something. But, I mean, can you hardly blame me? It's like talking to chickens all day.
Have you truly never enjoyed talking to a human? I imagine you've lived quite a long time.
He pauses and puts a hand on her chin and just kind of rubs her chin very animatedly. Well, there was one fella who I did find quite scintillating. But, she shrugs, I didn't seem to let him get away. If it helps, I would save you for last.
And there's actually just a little quirk of a smirk. She shakes her head. I suppose that's something.
She smiles like a too wide smile.
I imagine Aang can hear all of this.
I can hear all of this.
Laura, like, get the fuck out of here. She's been pushed towards the door.
Lorelai just steps back and then looks at Aang, steps out of the way.
Aang will nod, smile perhaps a little too serenely given the situation, and call out again in Welsh, "You did very well. I'm very proud of you."
She, in Welsh, she does like a little curtsy and just goes, "Thank you, dearest Angharad." She had to think about dearest for a second.
It is really endearing. It is really endearing.
Lorelai butchering other languages gives me so much life.
I love this.
She's a mile wide and an inch deep.
I hope that in every language she speaks, she's like this.
I want her to speak a million languages and it's all like this.
Here's a question for you,
Mhm.
Joe, and perhaps also for Iris. Hunters would probably have like signals and codes and whatnot, right?
Yeah, like their own kind of like hand signals and symbols. for silent communication.
It's
Mhm.
funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing and I didn't know how to ask you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would Hawk have taught Aang some of the basics of those?
Yeah, the absolute basics are like, I see something, I hear something, it's over there, be quiet, keep a lookout, like pretty simple one-handed gestures.
Aang will pop it's over there, keep a lookout in the direction of the room toward Maddie.
Maddie, that absolutely would activate like
Yeah.
every reflexive neuron in your brain.
I imagine too that it's a little unnerving because she gestures exactly like Hawk does. Because Aang is extremely good at mimicry.
There's a weird overlay in Maddie's eyes of like, whoa, kind of thing. Like, oh, well then. But yeah, the instinct kicks in. She's like, and she nods and kind of takes note of who's in the room currently. She can see into this room right now, but she tries to kind of act natural a little bit, and she'll move over to Paige and start talking about the wine, or like trying to make her movements sound natural in case Dee Dee's listening, kind of thing.
Can I? So Paige is currently. Someone mentioned making drinks, and she's like, "Oh yes, immediately. I don't want to be sober anymore." So she immediately went
Yeah, she's got this.
into making a bunch of drinks.
Mhm.
I don't feel like she's paying much attention to what's happening. Can I roll to see if she picks up the fucking tense vibe?
She's like, "Hey, Paige, Hylas is really interested in this wine and was curious about the ingredients. Why don't you go tell them about it?"
Paige, in
Kinda-
the middle of shaking a fucking like drink together in a little shaker, he's like, "Oh, okay, I can do that."
Insisting her to move back more.
So, okay, I'm still on this chair. It's just like, okay, fine, I'll get up. Okay. Can I try and pick up on the vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you would get exactly what Maddie was putting down by virtue of it being like the tone shifted, and Lorelai is like like shuffling up to be a little bit close to you, but still kind of out of the way.
I imagine that it's when Maddie is more forcibly moving her. I was like, that's not something that really happens.
Yeah, it's her face
Mhm.
too. It's like she's trying to keep her tone natural,
Mm-hmm,
but it's the look on her face and the like the pushing, the insistent.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a freeze, a pause, and clocks all of this before she gets up, puts her fucking little shaker down on the table. You know what? She'll get that back later. If they survive whatever the fuck's about to happen. Okay. Looking at
Count
Maddie's
the
like,
people
okay,
in the room.
yeah. It's like, okay, I can do that. I can talk all about the things, you know? Picking up what she's putting down. I'm like, okay, it's happening. I thought we'd have a few more hours.
Dee Dee is like looking at you, Willow, with the type of stare that a lion behind an unlocked door would look at you with.
Willow seems surprisingly unbothered by it. And just like tilting her, is still head tilted, just watching Dee Dee. You know, I truly did, and do want to cut another deal with you.
Dee Dee smiles, and it is the same sort of smile in her token. It is this smile of like just vacant void, like a hole where empathy would be.
Paige disappeared.
Where is Paige?
Under Hylas.
There we go.
That's size accurate, honestly.
I tried to go around him, and then I actually won the same square, and I couldn't get her because she was.
She can be completely eclipsed by him depending on the angle. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Willow, if you allow her to do this without doing anything, Dee Dee will step up to meet you with that same sort of empty smile on her face. And she... What was it you said? You really wanted to strike another deal?
Yeah.
Dee Dee just smiles, and she shakes her head left and right and just goes, there was no deal where I was getting back in the box.
And I was going to try and advocate for that. You don't deserve to be in the box for just needing nourishment.
Dee Dee perks up a little bit. She just goes, oh, well, I think that's where you're wrong. And he's going to go for your throat.
Oh, shit! Go.
She's gonna slam you with an acrobatic or an athletics grapple attempt.
So,
Holy
Joe,
shit!
Holy shit!
So, hold on. If you will allow me, Joe.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get a chance to say this before because I didn't want to interrupt the scene
Okay.
more than I had when I lost the token. However, because we all know that some shit's about to happen, could Paige have been prepared to intervene to try and save Willow?
Yeah, I feel like everybody is primed.
Yeah.
I will.
Because
I will
the
give.
reason Aang didn't move closer is she's very fast.
I will give everyone. If you wanted to prep, what did you want to prep, Paige?
What I really wanted to do. Fuck, not there. Fucking. Foundry doesn't like me.
See, I also had something that I was going to try and do, but I didn't know if I was going to be allowed to because it's one action.
I will say, in fairness for Paige, because Paige didn't want to interrupt, and in fairness to you, Willow, because you are getting aggressed upon, I will give you each one action before we roll initiative.
One action. Fuck. Okay.
What was your thing, Paige? What was it?
What I wanted to do would be 2 actions, because it's casting a spell.
What spell?
And this would be something, and honestly, it'd be kind of revealing Paige's magic to the whole party. But you know what? Willow's her friend now, damn it. Friend fetch.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yoink,
Oh,
Willow.
What
Oh my
does
God.
that thing do?
It's like friend fetch. It's literally. Let me see. You shoot out ephemeral telekinetic strands that drag each target directly towards you, stopping in the closest unoccupied space to you in this. Yeah, it's essentially, hey, yoink, drag Willow to Paige.
It's just straight up yoink. Wow.
Straight up fucking yoink.
Okay.
It's 1 or 2 willing creatures, so it should have to be willing.
I will say on a meta level, if Z is okay with it, then Willow could be willing. But Willow, what did you
to yoink the girl too?
It's 1 or 2. Could I yoink the girl too?
Yeah, you can yoink Abigail.
Okay, yeah, Paige. I'd like to have her cast that, and
Jump on the table, yoink.
yeah, shit's going down. It's like, okay, fuck. I don't like that. Climbs on top of the table.
Let me double check that I was reading this right.
May I have Maddie step back?
Um,
Because I planned on her attacking when shit popped off. That's why I moved forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can have her step back.
A little
Okay, cool.
sidesteppy.
I can't
But
move her,
what-
so.
Because I'm assuming that Odd is still forefront, right?
Yes, Odd is still like raging in the back of your mind. If you wanted, you could call on Odd right now to have her at the forefront.
Ooh.
Because I was going to have Willow use kinetic ram.
Oh,
Ooh, what's that do?
I can either do a straight line or a dispersed encircling ripple. Any creature targeted by the spell must succeed a fort save or be pushed 10 feet away from you or 20 feet on a critical failure. It's actually 15 feet because it's just one person, so 15 or 20.
okay. I'll make her. You can make her make a fort save. I will say that your spell can pop, and then Paige's spell can pop, and then initiative will pop off.
Cool.
Read this.
Of all of the combats that I have prepared, this was not the combat that I was expecting.
It's
So,
the way the tent
That-
went up though is very, very good. Chef's kiss.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Willow
I know I
wanted
was
to
gone
try
for a
and
little
be
bit,
fucking
but-
friends.
Yeah, Willow tried to try to check
Yeah,
the deal.
I feel bad, but Dee Dee hates humans. Hates
Mhm.
them.
No, but she was trying really hard, damn it.
Okay, so it is a DC
16.
16.
I love that Willow did all of this to be like the last one on the chopping block, but she was the first one to get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
This
I
is
will let
crazy.
you,
Mm-hmm.
because you, I think, Z, have 3 hero points. I will permit you, if you want, to spend 2 of them to make her reroll.
Sure.
Why does it say she has a plus? She doesn't have a plus 16.
How do I do this?
That'd be insane. We'd be so fucked.
He has a plus 18.
Yeah. She is- okay. Okay, it did the math right. It just says modifier plus 16 proficiency without level. Oh, okay. It's doing the math right. Whatever.
Sure. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aw, beans.
Damn.
Oof.
Okay. Then, Paige, your spell goes off, and you're grabbing
Yeah.
Abigail and Willow, and you're pulling them how close to you?
As close as fucking possible.
It's close as unoccupied spaces.
Yep. Onto the table if she can.
So Abigail is yoinked awake.
Yeah.
You,
I imagine what happens is that it's like things are getting desperate. It's like, okay, she was going to go over to Hylas, but it's like, oh no, things are getting. She climbs up on the fucking table. What the fuck is she doing? Would you look at that? Things are popping off. She reaches out both hands, and out from her fucking sleeves, magic scarves that wrap around the 2 of them and yoink them.
Nice.
Perfect.
For, like, the flavor of it. Because
Mhm.
this was part of why Willow was so confident against Dee Dee.
Oh?
Was that Dee Dee doesn't know she has fucking magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so there was just
Oh.
that rippling of purple energy the moment
Yes.
Dee Dee got too close and a hand lifting up, but the yoinking sideways just threw her hand off before it could actually slam into Dee Dee.
There's like a force shunt, like something just knocking. It hits the table and chair and just scatters it off to the side. And Dee Dee's left standing there like, what? Where did they go? What happened?
What the fuck just happened?
Now, this is the, I'll put Abigail here. This is the positioning we're going to roll initiative in.
I'm good with this.
I am going to
Oh.
not roll for Abigail. She will go last.
Where the hell is my initiative?
You
I
can
asked
just go to
this
the
every-
cross swords.
Oh, the crosswords. Right. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're good. Now, here's my
Yeah.
question to you all. Do you all
Well-
want to do this combat tonight?
10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Who has work tomorrow?
I don't. Yeah, that's, you know what?
Oh shit!
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. This is what
As a-
America was made for.
As the founding fathers intended.
I just want to point
Maddie,
out
roll.
that I'm carrying forward the luck from last night. It looks like.
Oh no.
You
Oh,
and me
no.
both. You and me both.
Oh man.
It's gonna be fine. Maddie, did you roll?
You know what?
Oh, sorry,
You know
I thought I
what?
did.
Can I? Is it worth
You can- you
rolling
can-
my initiative?
You can hero point it.
I think I can hero point.
Wait,
Yeah,
why
I'll
is
hero
it
point that.
privately rolled.
I don't know.
Why are you
I see
hiding
it,
your
though.
rolls? Well, yeah,
Why
of
are you
course
hiding
you
your
do.
rolls?
I can't even see it.
Why?
Make
It says I've already rolled my initiative, so I will just roll a
16.
d20 plus 5.
Yeah, you can just roll a
make
d20
sure that
plus
you
5.
like above your text box have the dice button highlighted.
It is.
Okay.
Odd.
That's
I'm gonna roll a d4 just to see if it actually works.
There we go.
Popped off. I will adjust this.
Thank you, Joe.
This is a 22. Boop.
Man, I have been sitting on
Your roll so good.
voice cracks.
Noticed.
I
He
guess
rolled
it
a
makes sense for
19.
Willow and Abigail to be at the end because they're both like, "Where the fuck are we?"
Yeah,
What happened?
Willow, who's like, I didn't know you could do that.
Both of them are learning so much about each other.
Did we do that? Did Dee do that?
Yeah, imagine there's a little bit of sparkles off of the little scarves that were wrapped around their waists.
It's like Willow ends up on shift, half
On the
knocked
chair?
over in this chair, like one hand on the back, one hand on the table, just like what? Processes. I feel like I probably should say thank you.
We can do that if we live.
You yank like magically Paige, both Abigail, who wakes up like, oh, what?
Flying
And
through
then
the air.
Pierre puts his hands on either side of his head. He's like, Paige, what the fuck?
She's like, I know, I just apologized.
I think
for some other
Hylas
stuff.
very, very genuinely is just like, nice aim.
It's like, we'll talk about this later.
We have so much to talk about tonight.
Lorelai pointing to Paige, just going, you're a magic too.
Could you just shut up?
Two.
Focus.
You knew.
It's Dee Dee's turn though, and Dee Dee steps in view, and she has fully taken the mask off, taking away this brief moment of weakness in the contract where there's a negotiation. She is capitalizing on it. She steps around the corner, and her nails grow, extending beyond the edge of her skin, like tearing and becoming bloody at the cuticle. She is going to rush up. She is going to stand between you and Maddie. And she looks at you, Aang, and she just goes, for old time's sake. And she's going to pivot and not target you. And she's going to target Maddie.
Oh,
Good.
I feel like that was her biggest mistake yet for Aang.
He's the one with Rogals.
22 to hit
Yeah, that hits.
for Maddie. Okay. She steps in place, and she's going to spin with her claw. Swing, swing. 16 slashing damage.
Yikes.
Oofums.
Oh, I'm already low health for some reason.
You shouldn't be that low.
Well, not low,
You
low,
sh-
but I mean, I'm missing something. Sorry. Let me
Yeah.
rephrase that.
And she is also going to use her reaction. So she lashes out and swipes at you with the claws, and she draws blood, and you feel a tug. And Maddie, like, as you're reeling from the cut, you can't reel too far. You notice that the threads that stitch her skin together, keep her skin like sort of whole, more or less. As with that single swipe, she has cut your own skin and woven those threads onto you, and you are stitched to her.
Ooh.
Huh.
Woo.
She is going to use a jerk. She will pull the threads and yank, and she will deal 1d6 bleed to you. So on your turn, you will take 6 bleed damage, and you'll have to roll a resist check to not take continuous damage. As she yanks the cords, it's gonna get gruesome.
It's
That's
6
That's
Gruesome
awesome.
awesome.
It better be.
Yeah, this is. I think we were all looking for gruesome from this.
Yeah.
Okay, that is move, attack, and reaction. Yeah, she is completely dry. It's Pierre's turn.
He's scared, I bet.
He is so fucking scared. He does not know what to do. He's going to pull out his gun and shoot.
Don't roll a 1, Pierre.
He fumbles with it. It was not a 1.
Oh,
Oh.
Hey, it's not a crit. On a 19, he doesn't crit, which is sad.
Okay.
But he does hit still. It's just not a crit. So he fumbles with the gun, pulls it out. It erupts into the room. Tinnitus, anyone? 1d6
don't I know it?
damage.
Hylas doesn't know what that is.
Oh shit! I just he's shooting a gun.
That's
Yeah.
metal. Yes.
It's metal. He's
It's
gonna
a bullet.
Okay. That is gonna deal quite a bit more damage.
Let me at her. Let me at her.
Where's my little health thing? There we go. I need this. Ow. Dee Dee takes a blast, and then Pierre's going to reload and wait, that's withdraw pistol, shoot, and reload. He can't move. That's his whole turn. Paige, it's your turn.
Okie doke. Oh, that just got real loud for me. Just lower that real quick. Alright. So,
I forgot to hop back in the stream.
Paige
Thank
is,
you
of
for reminding
course, inspire courage.
We love
Mhm.
it.
Thank you.
Love to see it. Second
Thank you
thing,
for my life.
new thing, rallying anthem.
Ooh.
So inspire courage,
okay.
you know it, you love it. +1 to attack, damage, and saves against fear effects. Rallying anthem, you get a +1 to AC and all saving throws. And you get resistance equal to half the spell's rank to physical damage. Now, I don't know what the spell's rank is, I'll be honest. I don't see it
It's
anywhere.
2, so that would be 1.
Okay, so everyone has a +1 to your AC, and
Hey.
+1 to your saving throws, and you get 1 resistance to physical damage.
That is
Technically-
awesome.
That would end up being a +2 to saves against fear effects, though.
Yes.
That is very useful because she is going to use those.
So +2 to fear effects. And then she has 1 action left. We're gonna go ahead and because I don't think this is an action thing that I'm looking at. It's just a frequency is once per round. I don't see a little square.
What is it?
Psyburst.
Starburst?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It just says once per round for the frequency. I don't. Oh, 1 action. There
Oh,
it
it's
is.
an
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, last action. Cyburst. I'm gonna need a reflex save, DC 16 from Dee Dee.
Okay. It's a 30.
What the fuck?
Reflex is a
Jesus.
good save. Reflex is a good save.
All right. Well,
Reflex is a
where
good
is it
save.
now?
You're right.
Well, that's it.
Okay. Hang.
Okay.
Kid's going nuts.
Yeah, I do want to note that Aang was explicitly not in her armor, so this is gonna be great. But
Oh, no.
retrieve scythe, 1 action.
Mhm.
And attack is next action here. She's talking mad shit for somebody who's flanked.
True. She is flanked. She is off guard to you.
Yes. How do I do the targeting thing again? Let me just. Oh,
You
here,
don't
the
have to
bullseye.
target if you don't want to, but if you can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Off guard.
All right. And then let's go ahead and roll this strike. Okay. Well, I can either hero point it, or I could multi-action penalty it. You know what? I've got 3. We're meant to use them, right?
Yep.
I'll re-roll that.
That's a hit.
Damn you! Oh, what?
No? Oh, sorry. I thought it was a hit.
No.
I saw a little animation pop, and I was like, "Oh, it's a hit." No.
But
If 14 hits, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Let me see. I feel like Hunt Prey would be Hunt Prey worked like favored enemy. That would absolutely be what I want to do here. But I think actually it might still be what I want to do here anyway, because that way I can use Relentless Stalker if it comes up. So yes, with my other action, I will Hunt Prey.
Okay. So she is the target of your hunt, and you get bonuses to hit and track?
No, I get bonuses to perception checks to seek, a 2 circumstance bonus to track. I ignore the penalty for making ranged attacks, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the important thing is that I can use Relentless Stalker to move up to my speed when she moves.
Gotcha. This is good. Okay.
It's very good for Hank.
Okay. Then if that's your turn, then it'll be Madigan.
So I get rage as a free action or something, right? Something like that.
Yes, that is coming through in the remaster. So I will permit you to use it as a remaster true rule.
Thank you.
There's some other barbarian buffs coming too, so keep an eye out for those.
So gonna rage.
Mm-hmm.
Click Maddie. Rage. Rage, please.
Maddie slapping herself. I need to get mad.
Oh, there we go. Apply effect. Wah! Yay, temp HP!
You're gonna need it!
Yeah!
Woohoo!
And, oh god, the lag. I imagined, too, what also doesn't help is, I imagine Maddie left her weapon, right here. When you were helping the girl. So, that's okay, though. Maddie doesn't need her hammer.
Claws.
He's gonna catch those hands.
Hands time. Can I please roll?
So it's only winter right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have things for that.
And I get a +1 from being with Aang, right?
We're not directly
Yes,
adjacent,
Oh.
but if you want to roll it that way.
I would say that you, in this case, you're flanking. So that's sort of instead of that bonus, you're getting flanking instead.
Okay. So what's that bonus then?
It lowers her AC by 2.
Oh, okay.
It also means I get sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
You also have your +1 from Paige.
So...
Oh,
I'm gonna hero. No. I'm hero pointing that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Just no.
What did we do? What did we do?
The digital gods don't like us.
Even the regular dice gods don't like us.
Because we were rolling on
dice
physicals
was,
last night.
Fine.
That's because Nathan is the most reliable man alive.
There we go.
So that's 25?
Yes.
That does hit.
Ooh.
25 with her flanked crits.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm helping.
So I hit the critical button?
Yes.
Oof!
21!
Ooh!
21!
Brutal.
21.
Okay, that did include
21
rage.
because of the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Get her!
That fucking hurts.
Freaking Dee Dee is like, oh, I've got you now, kind of thing, telling her it's like, no, I've got you.
She says, "I've got you now," and then you just see that manic grin that only a barbarian can have.
Now you can't run.
For any of those who have seen Inuyasha, kind of imagine, when he loses Tetsaiga, he looks up, his eyes are all red and shit. Kind of that.
Yeah. That's the good shit.
So I can attack again, I think?
Yeah. Yep. You attack with a multi-attack penalty, so it's -5.
Okay. So, roll.
Oh yeah.
22,
Yeah,
which does hit.
sweet. What's up, Karen?
I was just going to say, apparently, per the remaster, you get it on initiative now. Like, you can
Wait.
enter for rage as a free on initiative.
Weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
It didn't cost you any stuff. I guess at temp HP, but yeah, go on.
Temp HP, yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
No problem, Bob.
10. Okay.
And I can grapple, I think, too, right?
Yeah, you can try to grapple her.
You'd be at the -7 though, I think.
Yes, because grappling does count as an attack, so it would take the multi-attack penalty.
Oh, okay. I thought it didn't.
I would just swipe
Nah.
again just for good measure rather than try to
Mhm.
grapple.
I could try and intimidate.
You could try to scare her. You know that her best save is reflex.
If you scare her, she always counts as off guard to me.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Go for it.
Did I take that feat specifically for moments like this? Yes.
So I just roll intimidate. So I'm
Yep, just roll an
demoralizing.
intimidate.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. Okay.
That is what it is. You're looking to beat an 18.
You got this, you got this, you got this.
Yeah. No.
You're that guy. You're
Yeah,
that
I'm
guy.
gonna get it. No, I'm gonna get over an 18. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Intimidation. There it is.
Oh my god! Yeah!
What did I say?
Yeah!
What did I say?
I am loving this, you calling shots for the universe.
Manifesting.
So
You're trying to counteract the luck.
how does Maddie intimidate Dee Dee? You've already crit her. You crit her and just bored into her with claws. Your own claws.
I feel like it's one of those things where, like, Dee Dee is going to realize that Maddie is just as deranged positive as Dee Dee is, and maybe she was not expecting that. You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, they did an equal amount of damage to each other there.
You are also Hawk's protege.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yeah.
Maddie has had to be in the position of, the boss, the supervising hunter, the one in charge. Like, she's kind of had a position of leadership since the party found Dee Dee, I'm assuming. So maybe, although we're not quite as aware of it, in a sense, a facade is dropping off of Maddie as well.
And oh god.
No, you first.
I was going to point out with the fact that she's Hawk's protege, there's also Dee Dee realizing that she's caught between two members of that woman's family.
Well,
True.
and Dee Dee's just gonna fucking realize that she fucked with the fucking wrong party because she has 2 people with guns shooting at her, and 2 people she did not
Yup.
know would have magic about to just unleash hell on her with magic.
It's two because there's 2 people who are related to her nemesis.
So here's the thing. I have the intimidating glare, which means I can demoralize without speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think as long as I'm raging, if I remember correctly.
You are?
So, you know how earlier I said the whole Inuyasha thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, my first thought was it's her saying, like, oh, you want to see a monster? I'll show you one. But I have something better.
Growl, bitch, growl.
It's going back to that Inuyasha thing, where with Inuyasha, his eyes were fully red and glazed over in possession, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dee Dee is going to realize this is not Maddie's full power. This is her in control.
That's a good one.
True. Yeah, she, like, Dee Dee, for all of the bravado and like cool suaveness, like she had everything under her thumb the whole time and she was just held on a leash because you were afraid of her. Like all of that just fades away in the moment where you roar and swipe back at her twice and just start chopping her to bits. Despite having been stitched to her in a way, she is not at all deterred you.
No. In fact, Maddie's using that against Dee Dee to get into the closer bits, the more tender bits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Hylas.
So this has kind of happened very suddenly for him. He's looking around, and seeing that everybody has gone before him, and has like taken an action against Dee Dee. He's just kind of like looking around, and he calls out to Paige, after saying, "Oh, nice aim." So, what's the plan, little lady?
It shoots a fucking bitch in the doorway! What are you doing?
He adjusts his hat, and with his quick draw, he goes, "Oh, damn. Real shame."
Real shame, Spicer.
I imagine, Zell, if you will indulge me, that Hylas was like sipping from like a flask of something, and not even alcoholic, like chalky milk in there or something. And then he just like puts it down and then takes the gun out.
He's got quick draw, so it's not even going to take him a full action. He draws his weapon and shoots on the same turn. So just immediately as Paige is like, "Shoot! What are you doing?" Yeah, we'll do that. He's gonna take a shot at Dee Dee. Looks something like this.
Nice, nice.
That's a hit.
All right.
You draw the hunter, and the boastful hunter just what?
Wait a second. Because that's a 23, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
With
23.
the bonuses, because she's flanked, does that mean it crits, or is it still out of range?
No, unfortunately. She will not crit on a 23, but you are shooting metal rounds at her, which does trigger her weakness. So you will deal an additional 5 damage to her.
Plus the 1.
okay.
Plus 1,
So
so 9 damage.
9 damage with 1 bullet. Yeah, so he does that, and he just kind of leisurely begins to, I don't know, it looks like now that he knows this is battle time, there is a very factual set of
Oh shit! Pause. I forgot. Maddie, I need you to take 1d6 damage.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that after the turn.
No, this is supposed to happen at the end of your turn. So you will take 3 damage
3.
and roll me a d20.
Okay.
A flat D20.
A D20.
You are still taking bleed damage.
Damn it.
Okay,
Ooh.
sorry. Continue, Hylas.
Yeah, so that is the quick draw. The next thing he does is he's going to use a silly little, let me make sure let's do a little running reload, and by running reload, he is kind of casually just going to walk up next to this door and park himself here, reloading his weapon. And he's going to take another shot.
Okay.
Now let me see if I want to do... I might as well do this.
Uh-huh.
Is shutting the door an action?
Yes,
Or
it
is
is
it
an
like
interact action.
Okay, so it would take up my third thing I can do.
I'm sorry.
You
What did you want
to? I'm asking.
Yeah, it would. It would take up your third action.
Okay. I won't shut the door, but I'm going to park myself here. I'm going to do rolling the attack and damage twice using. There's a little thing here called accidental shot that I just got, and I think it's really funny. I think fully he kind of makes it. He's looking at the door like, he's probably going to shut it on his next turn, but he fires the gun at Dee Dee with his third action here.
Isn't that
Okay.
four in total?
That would be 4.
Yeah, because that's the accidental shot takes 2 actions.
What?
Each one of them triangles is an action.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that
So
is
you
a
did-
2-action thing.
A quick draw, which is 1, running reload, which is 2, and then that would be 4.
And
Yeah,
strike would
okay.
be 3, right? Oh no,
Yeah.
the quick draw
could-
counts as a strike, so.
Yeah, you could shoot once more normally,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but you would take
In
a
that
-5 to the shot.
Okay. Good to know. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still new to Pathfinder.
The action
okay.
economy's weird. It's all right. We're
We
here
all
with you.
are. That's why I rely
Yep.
so heavily on that little diamond. Like, I count diamonds.
That's
Mhm.
graphic design. Working.
I'm Zell, and I barely know shapes.
Hi, my
You
name's
are an
Jared. I'm
artist.
19.
Okay. So I will take that, it's just the, I'm assuming it's the one next to the +8.
Yes, it would be plus something. It would say MAP -5.
Yes, I see that. Okay. I'm gonna hero point that. Can I do that?
You can do that.
Yay! Anyway, I started blasting.
So anyway,
So anyway, I started blasting.
Plus 1.
16.
that will hit her
Let's
reduced
go.
AC.
Blake.
Oh, this is important because you're not benefiting from her being off guard because she's not flanked to you, but she is frightened, which does reduce her AC. So the frightened is coming up big here.
Hell yeah!
There we go.
Teamwork!
So effectively, Hylas' turn is just like, okay, yeah, I'll start shooting. And he just parks himself in front of what he perceives as the only viable exit here.
I love that he's shooting directly past Paige.
He's pretty confident. I'm gonna hit that
Mhm.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with Paige standing on the table, Hylas is like still eye level with her.
Probably.
Because I've been there.
So is
Mhm.
that
12.
12 plus 5 because of her weakness, so 17. She's getting real low. Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah, I think he's looking on at the group going, damn, I wound up with a real dog-eat-dog crowd. This could have been me.
Good thing I said I don't want to fight him for the girl.
So Willow's sitting in the chair. The chair has finally clicked back down onto all 4 feet. And is processing another. He's like, you have magic too. And she's like, well, okay, I guess. Fucking cat's out of the bag. And rather than stand fully, she's going to summon Odd not to the forefront, but close.
Mm-hmm.
And will start to float. She straightens up. And if you will allow me the flavor of these things in combination.
Uh-huh.
As she starts to float and her eyes kind of start to glow just a little bit of purple, she tilts her head to one side and it goes just a little bit further than it should. And she's staring at Dee Dee. I really wish that you had done this. I was going to try and be helpful. And as she says that, all of the cutlery and plates and bottles within 5 feet of her begin to float as well.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
And she will cast 2 things. First off, we're going to use a new shiny hex that I just got for Maddie.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how to make this send. She uses Blood Ward on Maddie,
Ooh.
which she has to focus for. And she will have it be Fae specific, because I'm assuming she's Fae, counting as Fae.
Yeah. Yes.
So target gains a +1 status bonus to saving throws and AC against creatures with that trait.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's a lot of bonuses going on right now. Holy shit.
yeah, there's an extra boost to Maddie's AC specifically against DD and technically if Aang tried to attack. And then with all of the shit floating around her, she will cast telekinetic projectile and send a nice metal knife.
Oh.
How does Aang feel about all this metal just like floating in the air?
Aang is sweating, my dude.
It's like being in a firestorm.
I guess I roll this. I get a +1 circumstance bonus from your shit on spell attacks, right?
Yep, just all
Uh-huh.
attacks. All attacks and damage.
Mm,
14. A 14.
That's a 15, isn't it?
It's a 15. The 15 to get there.
Doesn't get there, or it does?
Doesn't quite get there. It's a 15 to get there.
Well, fucking hero point it.
Go for it.
Try one more time.
We're finally blazing through hero points the way we should be.
Well, we had 3. I had
God
3.
intended. There you
Let's
go.
go!
Hey!
Hey.
Confirmed hit.
And then a +1.
It deals 2d6 plus.
Does it? Because it says no specific traits or magic properties of the hurled item affect the attack or the damage.
I feel like the material is.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense
it
to
would-
me.
Because technically bullets are not magical in any sense either, but I would be remiss of me to say, like, if you're shooting a gun at a Fae would not have anything to say about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's metal, so.
11 plus
12.
5, 12, 17. She's getting really low.
And Willow will just remain floating there, just kind of staring at her head tilted uncomfortably towards one side. All of the shit on this end of the table floating as well.
Oh my god.
damn.
Fucking Magneto hours.
You just
Dee
dropped in Fortnite.
can only imagine how Dee Dee feels realizing the people she picked a fight with.
She met you guys when you were small, and she was like, I can take them. And then you guys got big, and she's like, wait. Wait,
I just. So, Joe, when Dee Dee's turn starts, is Roundabout going to be playing?
We'll be right back. Abigail technically has a turn. She sees everything going on. She just woke up. So she scrambles off the table, falls, and lands on her ass down here, is going to stand up and then hide behind this chair, like put the chair between her and everything else. And she's like, what's happening? Oh my god, what just woke up? What's going on? And that's going to basically be her whole turn. She doesn't know what's happening.
I imagine Willow would like kind of turn her like head straighten up as she hears Abigail just like fall to the ground, and will just turn her face a little bit towards Lorelei, still looking at Dee Dee. Lorelei, do take care of her.
Lorelei nods and is going to rush back. And I'm going to say Lorelei will use one action to run over here, and is going to use both her action to grab Abigail and yank her into this room.
That's probably a good call.
Actually, okay, they probably don't have enough movement, huh?
Not if Lorelei is yanking her.
Okay.
Closed door?
Gotcha.
Not enough actions to close the door.
Damn it.
But that's going to be the NPC turn.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, it's true.
It's Dee Dee's turn, yet again.
Move,
And
move, I
Dee Dee-
fucking dare you.
Dee Dee is pissed. She is like bleeding out of every orifice. You can see searing smoke coming out of the gunshot wounds and the knife wound that is like scalding her. She shakes herself and wrenches some of the metal off of her body. She is going to use... Oh, do I use... No. She's going to turn on to you, Aang.
Mm-hmm.
And when... Actually... Hold on. I'm gonna roll a separate check to see if she's actually smart enough to realize this, because there's just a raw int check that needs to happen here.
Go either way.
The frightened condition goes down by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So she is no longer frightened.
It's the end of her turn, isn't it?
No, I think it's at the start of her turn. You take this.
Well, you do that.
The value of your frightened condition at the end of each of your turns. Oh, you're right. Okay, so it is the end of turn. Kudos
That's
to you
important.
for schooling me on the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
So
I was just looking it up, that's why.
she looks at you, Aang, and you can see Dee Dee calculate something, and then she turns and she locks in on the stray sheep.
Oh
You see
god.
her
Oh
focus in
no.
on Pierre. She is going to, without looking at you, Maddie, she rears back a hand and yanks again, and she's going to use an action to drain blood. And blood from the edge, like you feel a yank, and more of those cords and threads that are stitched into you pull, and it starts to bleed, and blood trickles up those wires and into Dee Dee. And she's going to heal herself.
Ew.
Heal herself. There we go. That's one action. Then she's going to use another action. She's going to move.
I will follow.
So will I.
Okay.
Fucking anime ass. I love that they're doing this again.
Teleporting
I
next
love
to
that
her.
They do this again.
Teleports behind you.
Teleports, and then there's the follow-up teleports. But she is going to rush over here behind Pierre, and she's going to use an action to claw Pierre. But she is going to use her mouth.
Oh, this bitch.
Watch
Oh
Paige
my.
Oh
discover
no!
her
Oh
damage
no!
spell.
Hey, is bro okay?
I don't think
No.
he's okay, guys. I
He
don't
is
think
not
he's
okay.
gonna be okay. Are those Oh no. Oh my. Oh,
What?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What the
What?
fuck?
Oh no.
I think Pierre's dead, guys.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
She
One
rushed.
hit?
Is that allowed?
Can we use
That
our
it
hero
is.
points to make her re-roll?
I will
Can
allow
I?
you. I will allow you to use 2 hero points from whomever wants to donate them
I
to
will.
reroll her damage. She is. I will, or at least reroll. I will let you spend 4 hero points from whoever wants to donate if you want to reroll the crit.
That was a crit?
Yeah, that was a
She
crit.
rolled a
It
nat,
was
she rolled a
fucking-
nat 20 on
Yeah.
the smallest sheep of the flock.
Okay,
I have 2
can I-
hero points I can donate.
I want to give all 3 of mine.
I have 1 as well.
I
if
have
we need it.
2.
So
Okay.
two from 2 from Amy, 1 from Hylas, 1 from Maddie. That'll be 4, and everybody still has 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh.
sounds fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
We gotta save dude.
My poor
Pierre is part of the party.
my boy. Are you fucking kidding?
Are you
Bullshit.
kidding?
I'm
My-
calling
Oh,
so much
no.
fucking bullshit.
Oh my god. It.
How do you?
I will be quiet.
It's bullshit.
Holy shit!
This is
What
why.
are the odds it's that high again?
If it
Loaded
is,
dice.
It's not instant death.
Okay.
40 is not instant death.
He's in a very bad way.
44. 44 is instant death, but 40 is not instant death.
Okay, so he's alive at least.
Okay.
He is.
Yeah.
So Dee Dee rushes behind him, and in a flash of movement, as Maddie and Aang, you see her dash, and you both move to follow her as fast as you possibly can, but neither of you are fast enough to stop her from doing what you know she's going to do. She's going after the slowest person in the group, and she catches him off guard. And there is a moment where you think it's too late to do anything about. But she catches him in the neck with her mouth. Her jaw unhinges, and you hear the snap and of the snapping and popping of tendon as she pulls the facade of her own not real human jaw open too wide and snaps it down onto the corner of Pierre's neck and shoulder. And there is a gut-wrenching sink of like knives into flesh and a tearing. And Pierre is instantly unconscious.
Don't turn him into a blood splatter on the map.
Oh my
All right, that was the
awful.
automation. That was the automation. That was the automation.
My god!
Pierre
have
is
a game plan.
unconscious. His eyes go completely blank. And then she is going to use her reaction and throw stitches onto him. So now
He's
he
already
stitched her as
dead.
well.
Yes. Joe, move us.
We can't move.
We can't move.
Show me where you want to be.
Do you want to be behind or in front?
I'll take behind.
Alright, then I will be here.
Here?
You're so
Uh,
coordinated.
Do you want to... Can you get here
Like here?
at all?
Yeah, I can get there.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Wait,
the
where-
orientation
okay.
didn't change much. It really is
Yeah.
one person teleports, the other do teleport.
Maddie like vaulting over the fucking table.
Yep.
Is Maddie still
Okay.
tied to her as well?
Yes, Maddie. She can tie to multiple people at once. If you
Oh
want
my gosh.
if you want to rip the stitches out, that is an action you can take. But you take damage when you do.
Can you rip the stitches out of Pierre?
You can. I will let you rip the stitches out of someone else.
If you throw, okay, so if, for instance, a dagger
Uh-huh.
is thrown, can that count? Like an attack
I will
roll against
say-
the
Yeah,
stitches.
I will say if you happen to throw a knife with some unforeseen power or your own hands, it could work to cut the cable to the thread.
I have a weird question.
Yep.
And I'm just asking because it's Pierre and I'm worried about him. But the -1 from Demora would that have changed the crit at all or no?
No, so it would have hit, but a critical, a natural 20 ups whatever success rate you got by 1. So she would have hit on a 29, and then it would have been bumped to a critical hit.
Okay, got it.
But that is the end of her frightened condition.
She's back in control.
Woohoo!
Paige, unleash hell.
Paige, kill.
It is your turn, Paige.
So, there are a lot of things happening. And in this moment, Paige was not expecting this. And she's just eyes wide, witnessing, for all she fucking knows, he's dead. She just got bitten into at the neck, blood everywhere. Is now attached via fucking, what is it, veins?
Thread. Like
Thread?
threading. Mhm.
Thread. He's just on the floor, and Paige feels so much anger and hatred to this person that she didn't even want to have help us in the first fucking place. She was against Dee Dee being here from the very beginning. And Paige, above all of that, feels frustration because she doesn't have attack spells. And she wants nothing more than to attack this fucking bitch. What she can do is
Steak knife at her? They're in the air.
Yeah, it's right in front of your face.
She's gonna cast Binding Muzzle.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be a Fortitude save.
Fortitude, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Oof.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, Dee
Oh
Dee,
my
stop!
Hold on.
Ugh.
Because I am a stickler for how dice roll, the digital dice just kind of flopped, and in my opinion, that isn't a roll. That is a setting the dice down like kind of hacky move. I want it to scatter across my screen, so I will re-roll that one for free because I want it to actually like fucking roll. There, that's a roll.
Yeah, that's a okay. Well,
It's still a
23.
cast, but it's not a crit.
Well, it's not a critical success. So it's a regular success, right? Okay, so for 1 round.
Yes. For 1 round,
Mm-hmm.
you can't use jaw strikes or this is big.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that comes
So-
from mouth.
Her jaw is her mouth is her strongest weapon.
That's the
Mhm.
people killer.
That's a people killer.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the people killer.
Alright. I imagine is that Paige looks at Dee Dee and just pure anger and hatred in her eyes, and she just balls a fist and kind of like puts it up in front of her and kind of closes it. As if, you know when you like do a little shut up gesture to someone?
Mm-hmm.
That, but like full fist clench. And she says, I think you should just shut up and stay down. And she is going to cast Lingering Composition.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go ahead and cast Inspire Courage again.
Okay.
So Lingering Composition, I am going to need to make a performance check. Boop. That's a 2. Well, oh well. That's gonna be a 10 total. Let me see what the ruling here. A 10. It lasts 1 round. Okay, so this effectively doesn't do anything. I don't lose a focus point for casting the spell. So I still do get the Inspire Courage. So that's still up. But I believe everyone loses the Rallying Anthem. But you still have your +1s, because honestly, kill this bitch is Paige's prerogative. And
This bitch.
I do imagine that Paige usually keeps her magic on the down low. I feel like at this point, fuck it. It's either she's going to die here, or Dee Dee is going to die. it doesn't fucking matter anymore. And the entire fucking area 60 foot around her explodes into pink light and much more sparkles.
That's hardcore. I dig
As
it.
Beautiful.
she actually isn't hiding the Inspire Courage anymore. So yes, Dee Dee is muzzled for 1 round, and everyone has Inspire Courage still up. And that is it.
Real bonding hours here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Join Willow in the fuck it. We're just gonna show that we are magic and she fucked up.
Yep.
All right. So it's my turn.
Mhm,
Joe, question. Because the scythe is literally meant for cutting things, particularly things of a, one might say, stringy nature, can I use that to cut the strings without taking the bleed? It's okay
Yeah,
if not.
absolutely.
All right,
You can
so I will use.
absolutely sever the strings. You don't even have to roll for it.
I will use an action to sever strings, and then I will use my next action to try and incite them.
Question:
Again.
Whose strings are you cutting? Pierre's or Maddie's?
Oh God. Ethical dilemma. Pierre's near death, so I think she would save Pierre.
Yay.
Okay. Can I be honest?
Mm-hmm.
If you had not have cut Pierre's and if she got her turn, if she doesn't die this turn,
He will die.
I was going to have her go for a kill shot on Pierre.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will cut those because I feel like Aang, he is the the slow sheep, the sickly sheep, but at this point, damn it, that's part of her herd.
Aww.
Aw.
This is sheepdog Aang hours.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so rolling for strike. Please, can I get a hit? Jesus fucking
Oh
Christ!
my God.
Dang, come on.
I would love
It's an
nothing
action,
more.
right?
Yeah, that's an action.
I will in the spirit of both Maddie and Aang handicapping themselves willingly, Aang saying like I have taken off my armor and Maddie saying I left my hammer, I will, in the spirit of taking nerfs, willingly give you hero points for self-nerfing.
I will
Hey.
I will use one of those hero points. God damn it. I will get to a fucking hit. 15?
Hit!
Yay!
It's a hit.
Hey.
We did it!
That's all we needed.
And it's metal.
And
Uh-huh.
it is metal. Okay. So, roll damage. 19.
19 plus
Me.
1 plus 5,
Mm-hmm.
25?
so 25 damage. God damn. Yeah, you slice a chunk of her clean off, and beneath the thin facade of whatever human form she has, you can see the creeping, like, whatever spiritual incorporeal form exists beneath. Aang, I will tell you for free, if you know that if her body is destroyed, she won't be gone completely, not yet.
Phase 2.
Joe, I would
Uh-huh.
like to entreat you for a gambit.
Okay.
Because there's the delay action. I still have one action I can take, right?
Yes.
So I can delay until after Maddie's turn. And here's the thing. If Maddie pins her down, Aang can try to eat her.
What?
This is true.
Oh.
This is true.
And that would try, at least, to keep her in that form in Aang's stomach.
Mhm.
Or whatever passes for Aang's stomach.
Okay. Yeah. This is true.
Would this be amenable to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is fair.
I will take the delay action, and I will have Aang sees this happen, and there's a sort of the edges of her mouth rise in a snarl, and she's looking less human than normal herself. As she cuts the strings and then cuts at Dee Dee and sees, much like her own self beneath, this monstrous form starting to be unleashed. And her eyes glow, that line of red around them more prominent this time. This is my flock, kindred. Mad again? Pin her down.
This is so fun.
Maddie, it's your turn.
I will do that. But I also
putting on
have
her
Okay.
gloves. Don't mind
I
if I
also
do.
have a request.
Rip off your own
Okay.
stitches
Okay.
first. Rip off your own stitches before you pin her down.
I have a request.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is to Joe.
Yep.
So I have a thought because Maddie's pretty angry that
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
that Dee Dee hurt Pierre, almost killed him, basically killed him. Could Maddie disarm her by trying to rip her jaw off?
Yeah. For sure. She got muzzled, so you can take control of the situation from Paige's start of the spell. You could just be like, all right, another, more.
Mm-hmm. Little pink chains were wrapped around her fucking lips. And I was like, I bet. Can't bite me now.
I just don't know if that would count as an attack or as a or a disarm, essentially.
So here's what I'm gonna say. If you want to grapple her as the request from Aang, that's gonna be one action.
Okay.
And it's going to count as an attack. If you want to try and disarm her jaw, that is also going to count as an attack. So you have to decide which order you're doing these in.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see.
Hi, Winnie.
Little goblin.
He's being a menace.
Little goblin.
He is a
'Cause-
goblin.
So pinning her down, that's a grapple, right?
Yes, that is a grapple.
So it's an athletics check versus her fortitude.
Correct, it is.
Okay.
I am
And
begging
then-
you to crit. I am begging you to crit.
And then the
Please.
disarm is also an athletics check.
It
Correct?
is.
Or do you want it to be an attack? 'Cause
I would.
it is- Sorry. go ahead.
Disarm. It would still count as an attack because I think you are going to have to aggress on her, and disarming as an action is also still part of an attack.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grapple first.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do first. So that's an athletics.
Yes, it is an athletics check. You are looking to beat a 19, but because she is off guard, I will say you can apply that to her. So you're looking to beat a 17.
Okay.
Does the plus one still apply because it's an attack?
Absolutely.
Woo!
Oh.
Do you have a
Hero
hero point?
point.
You have a hero point?
Hero point. I have
You have
2
hero
hero
point.
points, actually.
You do.
Hero point?
So athletics, once more, with feeling.
Close. It's
Plus
close.
one. Plus 1.
Does
No,
Willow
it's
thing give a
16.
bonus to attacks or?
Unfortunately not. It's
No.
Oh,
What is the tightness? No, that's only for if the thing is bigger. Damn it.
Wait.
I will say-
Argument. I have an argument for you, Joe.
Okay.
I have a bullshit if you will hear me out.
Okay.
So, Maddie and Dee Dee are currently tied together by string. Aang didn't sever
Yep.
those. Would that give
Mhm.
the necessary +1 to get us there?
I'll take damage for it.
Yep, I will give you a +1 if you take 1d6 damage.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a d6.
You know what? I'm fine with that. Deal 6 damage. Fucking do it.
Did
I
you
don't
roll?
care.
4. Let's go.
4.
This is
Okay.
this is familial
Plus
bonding.
So you Maddie are like, you're getting ready to grapple her, and you're like, she's fast, she's really slippery, but you know what, she's kind of already tied herself to you, and the best way to grapple is with what they give you. And so you just whip the threads that are stitched into your own skin over and around her and fucking cinch her close to you that way, and it is pulling against you, and it is hurting. This is like needles all throughout your skin hurting. Blood from you and her is just coating the threads in the floor.
So how I'm imagining it is she grabbed her and then, wrapped her. She's holding her with like how they're facing right now. So she's holding her from behind kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try for that disarm. And you want it as an attack.
Yep. So it's going to take multi-attack penalty.
Yep.
Phew.
13. Even if you're
14?
grappling her, a 14 would not get there. You need a 15.
I'm gonna use my last hero point. Okay. I'm going to hit. Her jaw is
You're gonna call your
breaking
shot.
right
Babe Ruth
now.
to the outfield.
Manifest. Oh.
I tried.
You tried.
I did.
tried.
Okay.
You're like
Almost a
grappling
19.
and scrambling. You still have one action left. You can just try, but it's at a bigger minus now.
So you could try that. There's another thing I might suggest that I don't know if this would count as an attack here. This is me bullshitting again. But
Lawyer.
She's currently grappled. Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
You explicitly made mention of the use of ropes in the grapple, wrapping around her. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would you allow Maddie to make a check to upgrade that grapple to restrained using those strings?
Sure. I would be willing to do that.
What is restrained?
Restrained makes it
Much
so
easier.
she literally can't move. On her turn, she is off guard and can't move anywhere.
Okay.
But I will
Bundle
tell
her
you,
up.
if you can attempt that, or you can attempt trying to disarm her again.
Yep. Either one is valid.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to try to break her jaw. Just
Do it.
It
Do it.
feels good.
Roll it. Map -10. We're cruising on luck. Dreams.
Hope. +1,
Plus
15.
1.
+1 for 15, which does get there.
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
Roll. So, Maddie, roll for me your unarmed strike damage.
Okay.
Plus another
For
1 for
10.
11.
+1 for 11. So you will deal 11 damage to her from your unarmed strike. So you've wrapped her around. You have her like straight jacketed with threads that are like cutting into her skin and pulling on yours. Just blood everywhere and cuts all over. And while you have her there, you snake one of your hands up around to her chin and brute
Hand
force
in mouth. Hand in
stick your
mouth.
hand into her mouth, and you can feel her immediately bite down on your fingers, and she cuts all the way to the bone, and you can feel her like her teeth grinding against the bone in your fingers, and it is like the most like snap jaw trap razor pain you have ever felt, and you are just so focused on getting the jaw to not work anymore that you just grit through it, and your hand just locks up for a second, and you push and push and push, and then there is a snap and a pop and a crunch, and you feel part of her jaw give way. You can feel like a
Love this.
underneath.
This is so visceral.
So Maddie tied her up, right? And
Mhm.
she's she's just struggling. She's like
kicking her feet, trying to get back onto the into the commanding position.
And Maddie's pissed. She's not transformed like the full lycanthrope, but she is pissed. And she kind of growls really low in Dee Dee's ear. She's like, "You hungry? Eat this!" And then just shoves her hand in her mouth and yanks.
There's like wild at first, like what sounds initially like glee, like, and then you start to hear like the like rabid squealing of pain and scrambling like a trapped animal, and then the snapping and popping and just gurgling like blood. There's so much blood all over like both your front and hers, all over your wrist, all over her mouth. Just the entire scene is a just splatter fest movie. Hylas, it's your turn.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Aang's
it's
turn.
not?
Aang had-
delay action.
Yeah,
Oh,
Aang
you're-
had delayed.
You're right.
Yeah, Aang is going to try to eat her. Now,
Okay, Aang.
per the rules, that's drain blood, which is going to require athletics against her fortitude because she is
Yes.
not restrained. So the odds of me making this roll are not high. Because what if I try to hit a
We'll
15?
give you yes. So you're no, you're trying to hit a 17 or no,
Ugh.
no, a 15. You're hitting a 15 because I will
Okay.
give you that she's restrained entirely. So her
If
her
she's
ability to
restrained
withstand this-
entirely, I don't need to make the check.
Oh, then
Yes,
yeah, you
that's
don't
why I
even-
was trying to get to restrained. Yeah, if she's
or
restrained
wait, no,
entirely.
sorry. Oh my god, sorry. I'm getting my things crisscrossed. The jaw is broken, not restrained. I'm sorry.
Yes, so the jaw's
That's
broken.
what
She's not capital
Betty
R
did.
restrained. She's only grappled. So that means I need to succeed against a 17 or 15?
17.
Oh god, okay.
Here's her AC. 17 is her reduced fortitude save.
All right.
You got this.
I've got a hero point and a dream, baby.
You
Alright.
have 3 actions too, right? Oh no, this is just one.
This is just
Just
one
one.
action,
Yeah, the
and I have
delay,
one
yeah.
hero point. So
Mhm.
let me see what this counts as in terms of what sort of attack roll I need to make, because that is slipping my mind. Sorry for the delay. Let me
All
figure
good, all
that
good.
out. Do. Where the fuck is it? Here. There we go. All right. It's just an athletics check. Okay. So let's go.
Does Aang have a bite attack?
I don't believe she does.
I thought she did.
Oh yes, yeah, she does have a bite attack. It's at +3.
Okay.
My athletics is 4.
Yeah, roll. I was gonna say roll athletics first.
Yeah. All right. So athletics. Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make
Mhm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Manifest.
gonna make it.
Manifest it.
That's a 15.
Yeah!
Wait, that's a skill check. Does Willow's thing apply to that?
Willow only did for Maddie.
God damn it!
Sorry,
Does this
she doesn't
count as
have
an
that much shape.
That's a
No. It's
16.
fine. It's not your fault at all.
Mhm.
Okay. Hero point.
One more.
You're gonna make it.
Can we bullshit? Can we squeeze out a +1 anywhere?
The only +1 I know of is the Maddie Yang thing.
Yeah, but
will-
they'd have to be directly adjacent.
Yeah.
I mean,
will
they're
say
like-
that because of your adjacency, I will let you get a +1, but you have to re-roll.
Okay.
So it would be
I
rolling.
won't
at a
give it to you for
+2.
free. But yeah, you're getting a +2, so you have a +6 total for your athletics
Okay,
checks.
Okay, alright. Alright, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
Her. Eat her.
Alright.
Eat
Mhm.
her.
Yes.
Let's go!
That's why we come here. Okay. So Aang, you how does this look in contrast to how like the feeding looked when you fed on like a happy memory from Hawk? How does this look feeding on like the vile, like hate-filled murder that is Dee Dee?
I imagine that this is way more physical, because when she was feasting on Hawk, she was feasting on those memories. She's consuming flesh here as well, because the intent is to swallow the whole hate. So I imagine that she drops the scythe just to be able to get a better hold on her. There's like one hand on the head, one hand like further down on the body, gets in real close, tilts the head to the side, and then Aang's jaw unhinges. And I think that she like sicks her jaw in that space where the skin is already starting to peel, and you can see a bit of that monstrousness. And there's a horrendous sucking sound as she, the same way that you would eat like an oyster or something like that, eats that part first and then just pulls the rest of the flesh in along.
So as you like reach forward and start to feed on her, you see Aang, you see Dee Dee, like, she doesn't understand what's happening. Like, you're going to go and bite her, which she's like, okay, yeah, you have sharp teeth or whatever. And then she starts to understand, like, what you're doing. And she starts to, like, wrangle and scramble and wriggle as hard as she possibly can, because she knows what's coming. And she knows that you have the one trick that could actually get to her herself, and she's just wriggling to try and break free, but she can't break free because Maddie is like pulling her tight and holding her just as hard as she possibly can, and she's just, her eyes go like bloodshot with just a mix of literal blood and like yellow hatred, fae-fueled energy, and she is whipping back and forth, trying so hard, yanking both you and Maddie back and forth, but you push through it, and you see like the fleshy facade of Dee Dee fall away, and in its place you see a like wrapped like viscera specter that is almost formless. It has the appearance of being like raw flesh, but it has a sort of billow to it, like a coat made of meat. And she wavers in the open, like, exposure to the outside air. It's her natural form. Like, that is what Dee Dee is. She isn't the skin she wears. She is that creature that exists beneath it, and she takes the corporeal form. And you are subverting an entire fight for something far cooler, in my opinion. But as you bear down on her, you pull her in all the way into your system and down into your stomach. The pit of your own essence, Dee Dee, is gone, and in her place now there is a hollowed out husk, an eyeless flop of skin and thread that goes loose, and Dee Dee is gone.
That's fucking awesome.
Holy fuck.
What a comment! Jesus Christ!
Holy shit, what a fucking 20.
What a fucking 20. I'm pretty sure I woke up both of my partners. I feel a little bad, but man, 20.
Awesome!
You're still grand.
I'm sure they'd understand.
I'll explain to them
certain.
and they'll understand. But yeah, I think Aang stands there heaving, catching her breath for a second, slick with sweat, but also as her eyes settle back into being more gold than red, there's this grim sense of fullness and satisfaction. And she was already pretty full, but this is pushing the limit slightly. She leans against the wall, And I think she's going to quietly start praying to herself.
I think Hylas on his turn. I'm so glad we didn't get here, because he's gonna follow through with the first bit, which is he's gonna sprint up to Paige.
Mm-hmm.
And like this happened so fast. His arm is already like stretched out in front of him, but by the time that Dee Dee has been eliminated, he doesn't have the need to do what he was going to do. So he stands on the table with Paige and has a firm grasp on her shoulder, as if he was ready to move her. And he looks down at the situation and seeing things just kind of, no need for the rest of this to go on. He's like assessing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his grip loosens a bit. He was fully just going to push Paige off the table away from Dee Dee.
What a good friend.
Yeah, what a great friend.
Before
Unfortunately,
Paige goes diving off, let me ask a question just really fast.
Uh-huh.
How is Odd behaving right now?
Odd is transfixed on Aang. Like there is a wonder about like what just happened and what does that mean for us. She's behaving by virtue of being curious.
So, like, as all of the telekinetically like floating shit starts to slowly go back down to where it was, and Willow also has her feet touch the ground, she will very firmly kind of throw her consciousness at Odd, and very firmly, I need Summer now.
Oh, I need you to make me a will save.
Fucking hell.
You're a caster. Will's your good save.
ooh, don't fuck with Willow.
Yeah, for fucking real.
The tone of voice was everything.
Odd, you make a demand of Odd, and you feel Odd start to swell up. There is a desert, like an entitlement to be on the surface, to be here and present. Like, you can't just sideline me. And it is a little surprising to hear almost like a petulant sort of energy come from a creature that is weirdly ethereal and not fully present. But you put her, how do you put Odd in her place?
Well, I mean, Willow has been doing nothing but cutting deals with these others. It's like, we will get your time back as soon as we handle the situation at hand. I need Summer.
There is a withdrawing, like, is somebody pressing against a door and listening to what's on the other side, and then you feel them slowly lift off of the door and back away from it. And Odd turns, and physically you can see her turning and walking away into the corner of this wall here and just vanishing. And you feel pulled from the farthest reaches in your mind, a distant voice like, hello? Am I supposed to be here?
No, but we need your help. And I imagine at the same time that Paige is like falling off the table, Willow is just going to fucking step on the table, across the table, and over. I can't move my token though.
Whoop. Whoop.
So
Yeah.
if you will allow me, Paige, to make this easier for you.
Yes. Ah, what the fuck?
Summer is my only version that has stabilize.
Paige does not have stabilized.
So I'd like to cast stabilize with Summer.
Okay. Stabilized, I think you immediately, they don't have to make any saves on it. They're just immediately stable.
They're immediately at 0 hit points.
And they lose
Okay.
dying, which is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes over and immediately, like, kneeling down, and as Paige reaches out to, I imagine, start trying to heal, Willow will grab her wrist very firmly and just like, one moment, and will put her hand on his chest, and you just see green sprouting across him for just a moment before it dies away. And the worst of it, like, he stopped bleeding. He still is fucked up, but he is not bleeding. And then she nods.
It is like the contrast in violence of like seeing his wounds, like what looks like a shark bite around his neck and shoulder from a mouth that's too wide, and it is just gushing blood. And then Willow, you take a knee and stabilize, and immediately the blood stops flowing.
The only healing spell I have. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Paige is just in fucking shambles. She just is kneeling down next to Pierre, and she is just barely able to contain herself to let Willow help. But as soon as it's over, Paige immediately is next to him, pulling him close. And she is just going to just cradle his head and pat his hair, and she's going to cast Hymn of Healing.
Oh.
And that's going to heal him for 16, essentially.
Okay. I will say that he is still unconscious, but he will be healed for 16. So you can see like 16. There we go. You can see the wounds start to stitch themselves closed, and the thread that was woven into his body, the ends of it that were still there and not left that were left stuck in him and severed, start to unweave themselves from his form, like they're being expelled by the magic.
Mm.
It is a messy blood pool, a mixture of Maddie's blood and his blood and Dee Dee's blood, and like Pierre is soaked in all of this blood, and the wounds they're going to scar. This is going to be a just horrendous, otherworldly creature's bite wound in the corner of his neck and shoulder forever.
Ooh.
But he will live.
Yeah, I imagine Paige is just sitting next to him in the blood. She is not moving unless you kill her. Oh boy. Holy
This feels
shit.
like a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good end.
Yep. Whew.
You
Damn, I
did
was
it.
not expecting Dee Dee